You're not in there. Ooh.
Look on your phone. We're live to see if I'm in there.
Okay. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. We're kind of skirting this storm. I don't know. Hopefully it'll pass right over us, but got pretty dark there for a minute.
All of a sudden, too.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Look how low them clouds there are.
Yeah.
He's watching over there, too.
Yeah,
Those are creepy looking.
they are.
The low ones like that's where a tornado spawns.
Really. And that's, I was looking at that out there, how black that is. Yeah. We may have to move.
That's not going to get to us. It's moving that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's going to come over our house, though, this way. Hi from St. Louis, Johnny. We are live. Yes, we are. Tammy Ferguson. Hello, Skip and Sue. Vic Mendoza. Don't plan on staying out too long. I know it. We're looking at it right now, Vic.
Yeah.
The winds are starting to pick up.
We may cancel and come back in a few minutes.
Yeah, there goes.
There it goes.
We're going to take it in.
Okay, we're going to have to take it in.
Come on, get in there.
Okay.
It's taking too long. We're going to have to take it inside or something.
Yeah.
Boy, you talk about being live, huh? When you're live, anything can happen. Oh, gosh. I don't know if I can turn this around where you guys can see or not. Look at this real quick. Yeah. We're playing it. Where'd Sue go? You didn't take your microphone. Darn it.
Well, like I said, I kind of want to get all these windows closed.
I'm going to drop this stuff right here for right now. I got to go outside.
It shows it's a small storm. But it come quick.
I bet everybody has to be going, well, this is stupid.
We've seen Smitty move that fast.
Sorry, man. Sudden storm popped up. I gotta get. I'm out here in the Lanai trying to get this stuff kind of halfway. Sit down. What was messing around with doors and stuff? There's the microphone on. Oh, almost fell down. Please can't see both of us now. About that. Too many cords. I gotta turn the fan on. Hot. Anyway, we're alive.
Really?
Been alive. I just grabbed it and run.
Hi, guys. Yeah, fun and games today. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that little storm on my radar, and I thought it was going to pass us, but obviously it didn't. Once this little spot is over, we're good. But yeah, kind of quick.
Hey, whenever you're live, anything can happen, and there's nothing you can do for it. You can't prepare for crap.
Yeah.
So when I went out there 15 minutes ago to set this stuff up,
That hail?
and there wasn't nothing going on. It was I put the awning out. There was absolutely nothing going on. I looked out toward the west where all the storms come from. It was gray, but there wasn't really anything going on. 15 minutes later, I walked outside and everything's black. So, and then of course when the wind took off, there for a second I thought it was going to rip our awning off. I had to hold on to it and hold it down so the motor could bring it in.
That's the shit I didn't know if that was rain or hail. If it's hail, then we probably are in big trouble.
So anyway, here we are. We're out here on Lanai now. I've got the doors open so a breeze can go through here. Got the fan on. I've got them shut over here on this side because the rain's coming from this side. I know you can't know which side I'm pointing at. I'm pointing toward actually the north side. The rain's coming from the northwest and it's blowing this way, so I got them shut. This is the nice thing about having an enclosed lanai, is we can do that.
Yeah.
Where before, when we had just a screen lanai, you couldn't be out here during a rainstorm.
Yeah. Oh, and Rick, no, we're not going to be out there and like the weather guys. Jim Cantori can be anywhere he wants. I'm just not going to be out there.
Vic says exit recovery. Well, I don't know about being excellent, Vic. It just is what it is.
Yeah. You know, Cindy says she just skirted us there and on top of the world. Yeah, I thought it was going to pass here because I kept watching it on the radar and it was just kind of skirting next to us. So I'm really surprised it come out this bad all at once.
By the way, I talked to Cindy last week on the phone. I got her phone number and I called her and she called me back. I told her I was going to talk to you, but I haven't done it yet. She said let her know when we want to come up there, and they'll give us a tour on top of the world.
Great. Great.
I asked her if I could film up there. She didn't know.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, until they tell you not to, you can.
I just find it odd that with all the YouTubers in the whole world nowadays, that almost there's like no resident living there that has as many YouTube videos of their area like the villages has. I've looked.
Oh.
I mean, you'll find a real estate person here and there show you a house, but that's not what I'm looking for. I know they got a town square. Have you ever seen a video of it? What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it was nothing.
Maybe it was a chair.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought lightning hit something.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go up there with Cindy and her husband, and they're going to give us a little tour of the place. I'm going to do as much video as I can. I'm going to go with the act. Here's my act going up there. Everybody's got an act. I already told her. I said I'm going to pretend you're my mom or my grandma.
She probably appreciate that.
Yeah, and we're going to go around a video. So if somebody says something about it, well, who is it you got here? She can always say, "Well, it's my grandson." You know, because every visitor, no matter where you go, every visitor videos where grandma and grandpa live. So I can do that.
Cindy, would brother be okay?
And then I know they got like indoor swimming pools and stuff. I don't know if I could video in there. I don't know if I feel good about videoing in there. A lot of people they say, "Why don't you video your swimming pools and stuff?" There's people in there. I don't want to invade their privacy in an adult pool, especially because they don't want to be around kids. That's why they're in there. And then here I show up with the camera. You might get by with it. I just don't feel good about doing it.
Pilot guy says last porch setting before he closed on their new house in Newell. Well, it's not raining yet in Newell. Somebody just told me that. So that's what he said. I think this was just kind of a hit in the dark because it looked like it was going to pass us. So.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like the rain's quitting now.
That's what I said. It was just a small spot. But boy.
It's still kind of breezy. I'm not moving things again. We're stuck right here.
No, we're going to stay right here. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. It says to show some appreciation to Skip Soup for their comedy show. This was not intended, but it works.
What's that?
Phil said to hit the like button. Show appreciation for our comedy show.
Hey, we never rehearse anything, and if nothing else, this just proved it.
Yes, yes.
We just do it and wing it and hope for the best.
Kelly B says her lamppost sign is supposed to be installed today.
What?
Her lamppost sign is supposed to be installed today.
Oh. Yeah,
Cool.
that takes about 3 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Dal says now Newell's getting it. So, yeah, it's a very small storm, so it'll be over in a minute. But it packs a wallop. Oh. And yes, happy birthday, Kyle. I think, isn't it tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, William, we had a great time at the luncheon the other day. We did too. I mean, you know, we had a little smaller group than what we usually have, but we still had a really good time. And I'll tell you what, I can't say anything bad about the food and the service at Orange Blossom. It was very good. And, you know, it's very picturesque with the way they got that pool. But yeah, I haven't been there in a while, and I never had bad things to say about it to start with, not for a long time. But I was very pleased with what I had, and I think Skip had. What did you have?
I had some kind of a Salisbury. I thought it was going to be like a Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes, but it was okay, but it ain't what I thought. When they advertised Salisbury steak, I expect to get a Salisbury steak. And what they done with the Salisbury steak was ground it up like hamburger and then put it in the oven like meatloaf. And that isn't really what I wanted, but anyway, it was okay.
Yeah. Very nice, and I had my own favorite. I always get the quesadilla, and it was very, very good. And Phil's still getting over his cold. Well, bless it. You know, I can't believe in this kind of weather that you're still having problems with that cold.
I'm not sure it is a cold.
Well, that's what he
According to
said.
the news
Maybe.
this morning, first time in 20 years, the state of Florida is now starting to battle malaria.
Yeah.
And it's not that there's been a lot of cases, I think maybe 4, but that's just the reported cases. You don't know how many cases of malaria is out there that's not reported because people say, I think I got a cold. And then the symptoms of malaria is almost exactly like a flu. So it's just a thought. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to scare you. Just a thought.
Yeah. See the doctor, Phil. And Bill, the lifestyle visits, I think they're probably easier to get in the summer because of the heat. But I don't know. There's so many people wanting to come to Florida. It's really hard to get in anywhere, any time of the year. Call him and see. That's, he says a few extra days. I would call him and see.
They keep saying happy birthday to Kyle, and I keep going up here to the comments, and I don't even see a Kyle.
Rizzo.
Huh?
Rizzo. Kyle is his wife.
Oh. No, I'm looking at the names.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a Kyle. Okay, I got it. Never mind. I'm so terrible about remembering names.
Yeah. Uh-oh, she's inside the store. So you got your wallet with you, Bill?
So he's another one that hates to shop. He's just sitting out there waiting. My dad did that. He would take Mom didn't drive. So he would take Mom wherever she wanted to go back in the day when everything was, you went in and paid for it, to the phone company to pay your phone bill, gas company to pay your gas bill. You older people know what I'm talking about. And then at the last, on the way home, Mom would stop at the grocery store. This was every Saturday.
Whoa. You're getting to see Florida storms.
And then she'd get her groceries. Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Lightning got me off track.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Anyway, oh yeah, and Dad would go inside, and in every grocery store back in the day, they had this big long thing full of magazines, detective magazines, Life. I don't even know all the magazines. Dad would go in there and he'd leaf through a half a dozen of them, and then he would pick one he wanted. Sometimes he just grabbed the newspaper, and he'd grab a can of peanuts, Spanish peanuts, off the shelf. He would pay for it, go back out in the car, and he would read this magazine and eat the peanuts while Mom was inside the store shopping. That's what he did.
Squirrel. Oh, yeah, Mandy, come on down. That's a good time of year to come. But know that that's during the rainy season. And so these kind of things pop up usually once a day. It's not normally as bad as this was. This was pretty serious all at once. But you do get a shower usually every day in the summertime here. It usually just feels good, cools it down.
Well, it ain't just here, it's the whole state of Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, hurricane season is our rainy season or wet season or monsoon season, people call it.
Yeah.
And the hurricane season is from June through November, right?
Right.
Yeah, June through November.
And then and like I said, in June, July, and August, it's hot. I mean, it's supposed to be 97 by the end of this week, but we're getting feels like temperature of like 113, I think Phil said. So that's,
I feel sorry for them people in Texas right now. Over there where we go in March, it's not so bad at all. But right now, they're calling for all kinds of problems there. I've seen it this morning, all kinds of alerts, all kinds of warnings, all kinds of possible blackouts and brownouts. High temperature in a lot of areas in Texas is going to be like 110, 112. But then you have the heat index thing saying 120, 122.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And they're still having trouble with the smoke from the fires in
Chicago.
Well,
as of right now, Chicago, they say, has the worst air quality in the world because of the fires in Canada.
Well, Kevin Gay, he's in the fort, and to the air quality alerts for the past 2 days. So, and I know Minnesota was having a real problem with it too. Because I thought that was all gone with, I thought they had the fires out and smoke wasn't a problem anymore, but it's still causing havoc.
Hey, Kevin. Those of you who don't know, one of my moderators on here is Kevin. I keep calling him Jockway. What did you say? Jacks. Kevin Jacks. He just bought a new home down here in the Villages. He was down here a couple weeks ago. I've got video of it. I haven't edited it yet or anything. I got so much other stuff to do, but I'll get around to it. Anyway, he bought a new home down here, and he bought a home down in the Finney area the first time, sold that, and now he's bought another home. This is home number 2. He don't even live here yet. You know, the average villager buys 3 homes. He's in home number 2, and he doesn't even live here yet. I'm just saying. And he bought it closer to Lake Sumter, Brownwood area. It's kind of in between.
In the Pennicamp area.
They see the smoke in Knoxville, Tennessee. They didn't even say anything about coming down that far south on the news. Not saying it ain't. They just didn't say anything about it.
Yeah. Elizabeth says she had to wear a mask in Chicago when she ran her errands yesterday because the smoke was that bad. Knoxville, yeah.
I wonder how long they're expecting these fires to keep going.
I don't know. That's what I said. I was kind of surprised because I thought they kind of had that under control, but evidently not.
Canadians can't keep anything under control unless America comes and helps them.
You're going to get in trouble. Sherry, I do belong to several. I don't go to as many as I'd like to, but that's a bad thing about coming down here because there's so many things that you didn't have access to up north, and you want to join everything. And I said, after a while, that wears you out. Plus helping Skippy, that's that takes up my time. But I do have the ladies' lunch every month. And I go to the ladies' breakfast every month, and that's for our neighborhood with a few friends added in.
Cards.
Yeah, and I have a card group that I go to every week. And
shopping.
Yeah, and we do Martini Monday
and shopping.
every other Monday.
And shopping.
And shopping. And I haven't done much of that, really. But
don't listen to it. It's a lie. It's every day.
But yeah, there's a million things that you can do here, and that's one of the ways you get to know people. Especially our neighborhood has a social every month for the whole neighborhood, and they have a board meeting, and they decide what they're going to do, and from that they do several other different things. But yeah, what I belong to, I'd like to belong to a lot more, but I found I was really getting tired. So I don't belong to as many as I like. I belong to some, but I don't go to all the meetings because it's tiring. It really is.
Well, a lot of the activities they have here, you might start out going to an activity, and then 2 years later, the person that started that activity decides they don't want to do it anymore. So that activity disappears unless somebody takes it over, which generally speaking, they don't.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do it because they want the free time to do other things.
Yeah.
So they don't take over. Like I did the Hillsborough Men's Golf outing here for years, and I set it up. Then the day came, I said, I'm not doing it anymore. I turned it over to another guy. I said, do with it what you want. And then he died. And as far as I know, it's petered out. I don't even think they do it anymore.
I don't know. And I did the same. I had the prayer and care group here, and when I got cancer, I could not handle it, and so the board kind of did away with it. So now they just do a flower fund is all they do. But sometimes that's the way it goes. But that's why the amount of clubs here has stayed about in the same area, the 3,000 to 3,500 range, ever since we've moved here, is because people come and they start these groups, but they can't always maintain them. And I know Skip mentioned the retired old truckers last week, I think.
The Rock Club.
And I said, and that's one of those things that I think they started it, and I don't think they had enough people to maintain it. And so I don't think they're doing, I haven't found any signs of them anymore. No, don't think they still have that club. But that happens a lot. But like I said, I'm a member of the Decorating Divas and the Fashionistas. And, you know, they don't have those every week. Those are like monthly clubs. But yeah, there's just all kinds of things you can get into here. Just don't do too much.
Everybody overdoes it.
Well, I know.
Especially the first year you're here.
Yeah, my painting classes, and I haven't done them for a while, and I'm going to go back to them. But you know, there's just so much to do here, and you want to try out everything. And,
when you first come here, you think you're on vacation, and you don't live life. You're on vacation.
Yeah.
So it's just like when you are on vacation. You know, you got up early in the morning, went out, had breakfast, and did it. I mean, you hit it. And the only time you slowed down was for lunch and maybe dinner. But by the time you got to dinner, you went home. And you went home, you died until the next day. You hit it again. And how many times we all did a vacation, went home, and said, "Now that I'm home, I can finally relax." Going back to work was easier than vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, it was like I said, you can do a million things here, but just don't try them all at once. Hey, Jose.
Is Jose here?
Yeah, he's here. Phil says his son in Milwaukee said it was like fog this morning with the smoke. Yeah, like I said, it just kind of boggles my mind that it's still going on. I mean, they have spread that far. And like I said, I thought it was all taken care of. I hadn't heard of anything about it for, I don't know, 5 days, something like that. Yeah, and everybody liked your cart, Jose. I did too. I really, really liked it. And I said, if
I
you
didn't know it was his cart.
Oh, it's Maria's.
That's right.
She lets him have it a couple days a week.
She lets him have it 2 days a week. Watch the video.
Sounds reasonable to me.
So if she gets it 5 days a week, he gets it 2 days a week. It sounds like it's more per cart.
Yeah, he's always adding things for me. So, you know, Bill says, tell Maria she has a very pretty 4-seater. Yeah. Oh, well, Kelly B, you know, aren't any of us here forever. So, like I said, all the things that I wasn't able to do because of working, and I worked a lot. Then I had 2 kids, and then we had grandkids and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things I wasn't able to do down here. That's why I said I was like a kid in a candy store. I thought, oh, I can do this and I can do that. And I said, after a few years, you realize how tiring that is. And I said, somebody wanted to have lunch one day, and I said, let me check my calendar. And I couldn't find a day just to go to lunch, and that was scary. And I thought, I got to back off on some of this. So I'm kind of careful about what I do now.
Kevin says it's smoky in Fort Wayne, too. Air quality alerts for the last 2 days.
Yes.
So I'm wanting to go up to Indiana to visit, but I got some things I want to do also here, and I'm trying to figure out the best time to go up there. And it's like on July 15th, we've been invited to a private party. I told them I'd like to go. Well, actually, the W&L crew has been invited. And so I already sent everybody a message about it. So that's the 15th. So I thought, well, I'll go up to Indiana real quick and be back here by, say, the 13th or 14th in a car, you know, just make a quick trip. But now you're talking about smoke up there. I don't want to come up there if I got to run around town with a mask on and all this smoke.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh, Karen Velez is coming down for a lifestyle visit at the end of July. She's 60 and have a mobility disability. I have to use a rolling walker. Are there any groups or facilities for us with disabilities in the villages? Absolutely. There's a bunch of them. And as far as having a disability, it's not a problem here. I had a video, and I actually erased it because I messed up on it. But I had a video of a friend of mine. She is in independent living at American House, which is just outside the villages. And she uses a electric riding cart. I don't know what they call it. But like I said, her husband passed away this past year. And so she had a thing put on the back of her car to hold her cart. And she still goes. Like I said, she just loads her buggy up, and she goes to the ladies' lunch with me. And and all, we went around the farmer's market last week. She rode around the farmer's market, went to the inside some of the stores, and she didn't have a bit of trouble because the pavement here, when it comes to entryways, it all goes down flush with the street in your entryways. So it's not hard getting around. Even in the stores, it wasn't hard getting around, which the stores were very crowded. But yeah, it won't be a problem in the facilities that they have here. I'm trying to think of what they call. There's a couple groups, and I can't think of the name of them right now. But it depends on what kind of disability you have. Like I said, hers is she has COPD. It's not that she can't walk, but she has COPD, and she has to have. She carries her oxygen with her, and so she uses the electric cart to get around, so she doesn't get winded, and she can carry her oxygen with her. So it kind of depends on what disability you have, because they have clubs for different things. Wow. And there is a Taekwondo group here, Kevin. And Kevin wanted to know about, said he'd heard there was a Taekwondo group here, and there is.
There's over 3,000 clubs here. Now, those are the clubs sponsored by the villages. That doesn't count the clubs like Sue just told you, the stuff she does. That has nothing to do with the villages at all. That's just neighborhood people starting their own little get-together groups.
Oh, $2.
Here's the problem I have with the villages-sponsored clubs. Being a YouTuber, I'm always looking for different videos to show you guys what life is like here. If it's a sponsored villages club, even though maybe they would like for me to do a video, they have to get permission from the developers' offices to allow me to go in and do these videos. And we never get that permission. I don't know why, we just don't.
Yeah. And Ernie Reiser, yeah, it is true that there is some clubs that have a waiting list, and that's for usually big things like your ceramics, the glass fusion, that kind of thing. They have a large waiting list.
The wood shop.
Yeah, the wood shop.
That's year waiting list to get in there.
Because those are popular for people. People want to do that kind of stuff. A lot of them, they tell you to go to an outside club or organization that will teach you the basics, and then you come into the club. That's because it's not, they don't do the teaching in a lot of them. They'll send you somewhere outside to do the teaching, and then you join the club here to work on your projects and stuff.
Ann O says they're smoking in Richmond, Indiana. Oh
my.
They didn't say anything about that on TV. They just talked about Chicago.
Yeah. Thank you, Early Riser.
Sure.
Rizzo says he's thinking about starting a wristwatch collectors club.
There's probably already one here.
Yeah, there's probably already one here.
I do know, I assume he's still here. I can't think of his name, Joe, the clock guy.
Yeah.
That when I brought Dad's grandfather clock down here, it hadn't worked for years because Dad just didn't maintain it really. Old clocks have to be maintained a specific way. And anyway, so I brought it down here. I messed with it. I don't know anything about clocks. I get it to work for a little while, and they'd quit. And so I finally called. There's a guy here in the villages that I think he does most of this work either in a third bedroom of his house or in the garage. I'm not sure. His name's Joe something. Been here for years. I called him up. He came over. He looked at the clock. He tore it apart to rebuild the inner workings, which the old clock's inner workings are, either you have to make the parts. You can't buy them.
Yeah.
Well, he looked at this one part, and that was what was the problem with the whole clock. And he said, I can't fix it. He said, I've called people he knew in England that makes these kinds of things. And he says, I can put it all in a box for you in case you find somebody. He said, but I can't I can't find anybody to fix it. So he said, but what I can do is I can replace the whole internal workings of your clock and it'll work again. So we decided to do that because I wanted the clock to work. And I kept them mold parts in a box. I still think I got them out there, but the truth is, nobody's going to be able to make these parts again. The gears and things in there are just, they're very minute, very fine, and they're all made out of brass. And so anyway, Joe's been here for years, and when it comes to antique clocks, that's what he does. He rebuilds them. So I'll guarantee you, if there's a watch collector club here,
he's probably doing it.
He's probably in there.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and Sherry, they have considered the ability needs. Plus, in some areas, I think it's a law now that, they have to think of that kind of stuff. But it's like the houses they sell down here. Our doors don't have regular doorknobs. They have the rocker doorknobs. It's made for older people or disabled people. My shower, I can get the wheelchair into my shower. I know that for a fact. So yeah, they've kind of considered all that, and so it does make it a little easier.
I guess by looking at the comments here, I guess you guys saw the video about Jose's new cart.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be easier just to follow him around with the camera and let him explain his cart, because some of the upgrades you do on a cart, you really can't see them.
Yeah.
And so they have to, like, his battery shut off. You can't. I wouldn't have known about it being there. So I let them walk around. And on Kevin's new house, I did the same thing. I said, let me just follow you with the camera. I may ask you a question once in a while, and you just describe the home because they know more about it than I do.
Right.
I just thought that was a little different way of doing it.
Oh, and then thank you, Ann. I love color, and my tops always, kind of reflect what I am. I love the beachy stuff, but more than anything, I just love color. And I said I get most everything at Bell's now, since Izod's closed. I get most everything at Bell's, and I do my own stuff for it because this don't come with them. I always wear a sleeveless shirt underneath, and that's because I think I got an ugly neck. That kind of thing.
Oh, Phil, that comment there about the four-seater cart could, depending on how you read that, could get you in hot water with Maria. He says, hey, Jose, tell Maria she has a very pretty four-seater Yamaha.
Oh, well. Hey, poor guy. Haven't seen you in a while. You know what? I am missing Gringo Loco. Have not seen him on here for weeks now.
Yeah, no.
And I'm wondering, have you seen him on any of the other?
Yeah, he was on here like a couple weeks ago.
Was he? Okay.
And he was talking about, he's the one that's in, anyway, and then on the video I did on Patreon, I think he's a Patreon member. I did a video about something. And anyway, he was asking about Linda. He said, she's from, where's she from? What's the name of that town out there?
Julian.
No. The big town.
San Diego.
But he had it. See, those locals have different things. Anyway, he made a comment, so he's still around.
When, like I said, I just hadn't seen him for a while, so I thought he was coming back to the States. And so I just want to make sure he wasn't stopped at the border.
He's still in Costa Rica.
Okay.
I think that's where he lives.
Well, maybe he was just coming for a visit or something, so. Oh, Kevin says the air quality is 214. Anything over 250 is considered hazardous. Well, and I said, we'll be up there eventually, but it's going to have to clear out some. Oh, and yes, Kyle. And I said, happy birthday to you.
Jerry Bell, why didn't Skip go and video you on flying planes? Well, Jerry, I got no problem with going up there. Matter of fact, I already talked to him about it because it's a club. And they fly over at the polo field, he told me, and it's a certain day of the week or month or whatever that the club flies. If you'll look at my videos, I did a video of the Golden Retrievers Club. I did a video of the ski club where they do snow skiing around the country. I did a video of a lady starting a tap dancing club and all these different clubs. If you look at the videos, every one of those videos I've done about clubs, the views drop way off. Nobody wants to hear about clubs. When I say nobody, the masses. There's a handful that do, but the masses don't want to see anything about clubs. I'm sorry, they just don't. So
And I don't understand that. I really
don't either, but if they're not going to watch, I don't want to take my time out of the day to go do it.
Yeah. Do they have a knife and die cast collectors club there? You know, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm sure they probably do. If you go to, is it districtgov.org? I think you can find a list of all the clubs. The paper the recreation news that you get in the paper on Thursdays, they give the meetings for the clubs that week. So they don't have all of them in that paper. But if you go, I think it's districtgov.org, I think they have a list of all of the clubs and who to get a hold of to get involved. Because some of them, like some of them said that there's a waiting list for some of them. Some of them you have to bring materials with you. So you've got to call the person in charge of the club to come and go. So it's not like if you're down here on a lifestyle visit, don't think every one of them you can walk in tomorrow, because that ain't going to happen. Some of them you can, just like with pickleball, the water volleyball, that kind of thing. Some of them you can, but others you've got to contact the person in charge. Yeah, and it'll give you that in the recreation news. And like I said, I think they have a whole total list on districtgov.org.
Look at that, blue skies and white puffy clouds again.
That's what I said. I knew it was a small storm, but it packed a wallop.
Remember that storm that popped up at Lake Sumter? We talked to Scooter about it.
Oh, God, yes.
That was the weirdest thing I ever been in.
Yeah. And it was just this side of it. The tornado hit in the Marion County area, so we were just outside of it. But gosh, I'd never seen anything. It was market night. Things went flying. You know, the little guy that has the suitcases at market night, and the lady that had the hat stand. That stuff just went flying around. Pieces off of the trees. They went flying. The chairs went flying. It was a very scary storm.
1,000 people up there just running for cover.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
We were right on the square watching Scooter. And of course, he ran for cover too. He was in the beer hut.
Well, when we interviewed him, he brought that up. He still remembered that. That, like I say, that was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And it just came up just like that.
And I think up until that time, they didn't cancel much of the entertainment, but now they have a little bit different guidelines for their entertainment on the square. So,
what does this mean? Skip Wilson says, "Wonder what Dale Carnegie principle was used in that Canada comment." What does that mean? I'm not a college graduate. See, these guys are talking over my head, and he knows it. He's talking over my head. I don't know what that means. But I pick on Canada all the time. My next door neighbor is from Canada. He's always coming over and giving us money to donate for the Children's Wish Foundation when we do that, which I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again. But he would come over, then I'd always ask him, "Is this real money?"
yeah.
You know? So, hey, it's just a joke, you know.
Where do I get Skip's ugly shirts? Same place. That's I get most everything at Bell's now, because really our shopping has been curtailed a lot compared to what it used to be. Steinmart's moved out. Like I said, Izod's moved out. Trying to think of a couple of other stores. But like I said, we got new ones coming in. But a lot of them is these she stores that I'm not going to pay $70 for a T-shirt. I don't care if I can. I'm just not going to. And so, like I said, Bell's is a good store. They've got a Bell's outlet down here that also has good things at discount prices. And Belk, the big Belk department store, is kind of our version of a big department store. But like I said, shopping is limited if you don't do all Walmart and Sam's Club, you know. But most everything that we have comes from Bell's or Bell's outlet.
Early Riser sent us a $2 super chat.
Oh my God, you are way behind.
It says, "Is it true clubs have you already talked about that? Oh yeah, The popular clubs do, and in the wintertime, unless you sign up, I mean, like so early, the odds are all these clubs that are available for people, you're not going to get in because
Yeah.
they're booked.
Yeah.
And
I used to do the cardio drumming all the time. Love that. That's the most fun exercise. But in the wintertime, you have to go like an hour early. And even at that, sometimes you can't get in because these rec centers, they have a certain amount they can let in because of fire laws. So only so many people are allowed in the room. So you go up there and you can stand in line. Like I said, I went an hour early, and still there was a couple times I was turned away. So like it happens.
Early Roger says he's about an hour north of Chicago. That'd be Milwaukee area. That's why he said. But I was thinking at first when I read that, we went up there a couple of times with the kids when they were little. We went to Brookfield Zoo, and we would spend 3 or 4 days up there. Brookfield Zoo, went over to the jouster thing, nights around the table or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
dinner theater.
medieval times.
Okay. And then we would go up to north of Chicago up there. I can't remember the name of that town. They had Six Flags amusement park up there. And we went up to that a couple of times. I didn't particularly care for it, but the kids liked it. Matter of fact, last time we was up there, I think it was our youngest boy, took our neighbor kid. I can't think of his name, but they lived in Tennessee and they were visiting and they went with us up there, or we took him up there. I don't remember his name. Gene's sister's boy or something from Tennessee. We went up there. Yeah, we went. Anyway, I thought maybe that's where you were at in that area up there.
Okay. Dale, that's something I didn't know. He says one thing it didn't they didn't consider on these houses in Newell is the garage door opener is high level for him, which means if I was in a wheelchair, which I have been in my life as an amputee, they couldn't open it. And I'm not sure what he's talking about.
I don't either. Our everything here is made for old people that possibly has physical problems. Different homes are designed different ways with different things. You have to look at them. But if you can't reach high, I guarantee you that my garage door opener in the garage, the push button one, it's only about 4 feet off the ground. If I was sitting in a wheelchair, it'd be about right here. Because when I walk out there, it's down here. So it's lower. The light switches are not the switches up and down. They're all big, wide.
Now it would be a reach for me.
You can take a stick. Take a stick, and poke the damn thing. But in the garage, if you have to have a garage door opener, they give you like 3 garage door openers when you buy a house here. Take one of them and Velcro it to your wheelchair.
Well, like I said, I hadn't noticed that. Maybe theirs is higher down there. So
higher where?
In Newell.
I wouldn't think so because these homes are built for retired. Well, I take that back.
Different builders.
Yeah. This area was designed for older people, but I'll let it go.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Like I said, if we get down to Newell, I'm going to check one out and see because ours is, like I said, it's to where, like I say, it would be a reach for me. Of course, I'm short.
What would be a reach?
To reach the garage door opener. If I was in a wheelchair.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be for me.
If you was in a wheelchair, you'd be about the height you are right now. It's right here.
Okay.
You can't reach here?
Yes, I can. All right.
And like I said, take a garage door opener and Velcro it to your wheelchair. The remote thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, Jerry, I thought Gringo Loco was talking about moving back to the States, but that's what I said, and we didn't hear from him for a while, so I just didn't know whether, I thought he might have been stopped at the border.
The border, he'll be flying back.
Yeah.
The only thing he would have maybe would be a passport issue, if that.
It was a joke.
Well, I'm just saying, some of the countries we fly to, because they have this agreement with the United States, you don't need a passport. We found that out when we took a cruise.
Yeah.
I thought you needed one. They all kept saying you don't need one. So I did. I took one anyway because I didn't trust them. But no, we didn't need one in Jamaica. We didn't need one in the Bahamas. We didn't need one. I don't even remember where all we went. But
yeah.
And now I know around the El Paso area, because we saw it the last time we were there, there's something, and I don't know what it's called. and you'll see signs along the highway. There's about a 25-mile stretch or 20-mile stretch on I-10, and there are signs down that road that tells you, because I asked the guy about it, you can go so many miles inside Mexico now, and Mexico people can come so many miles inside the United States and not need a passport anymore. Some kind of an agreement.
A fireball. Well, hello. They just moved to the villages. He says TV. I forget what that is sometimes. Just moved to the villages. Well, welcome. So join the rest of us. You're going to have fun here. And I don't know, Desmindy. He parked it in our garage without any problem.
What's that?
She said she didn't think Jose could park his new cart head in because it's too long. So they had that situation when they
If
rented.
you'll look at the video that we put up about it, he pulls his four-seater in the garage. Look in front of it. That's my golf cart right directly in front of it. So there's enough room in my garage for a workbench, my two-seater golf cart, and then his four-seater golf cart.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on what kind of garage you have. I don't know.
But some garages here, and I do know, here in my area, I'm not speaking for everywhere, that the garages can be a little wider because they have bump outs all the time, or it can be a little longer because they have those. So some golf cart garages in these homes in the villages are about half. They only go in so far and stop because right in front of it might be your hot water heater and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other models here, the golf cart garage is the same length as the garage itself, which is a better deal.
Yeah.
So you have to really look at what your options are.
Kevin says they love Bill's great pickleball shirts. Yes. They have a lot of everything. And I said, and the Bell's Outlet, they have, they have some good stuff too. I really like them, and you can get a little bit better price on things. Are there any neighborhoods with sidewalks? I would be nervous about using my electric scooter on the street with cars.
No, that's the American Disabilities Act. Your scooter can go anywhere a person can walk. That's what the American Disability Act says.
But
you are walking. That's your feet. You can go down a sidewalk. Here you can go down golf cart trails because people walk on golf cart trails. So you can take your scooter on golf cart trails. As far as I know in the villages, I don't know any place that you're not to use a scooter. None that I know of.
She said she'd be nervous about using it on the street with cars.
You don't go on the street. You don't have it. You don't have to here.
That's what she's asking, if there's a neighborhood with sidewalks so she doesn't have to go in the street.
Oh, you mean like most neighborhoods that I know of, most neighborhoods inside a neighborhood, none of them have a sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's always on the outskirts of that neighborhood. On your main
roadways, you have sidewalks on one side.
I was going to say Caroline there for a while because there were sidewalks on one side in Caroline. We walked down to Lake Sumter all the time, but the more I think about it, no. Sweetwater Trail, whatever that's called right there, that's a main road. So, yeah, the sidewalks are always on the main road. They're not inside a neighborhood.
But you know why? I wouldn't worry about that too much because people are like that when they first get a golf cart. It's scary to merge with the traffic on the streets, but pretty much everybody here knows that they have to be aware of that. And so I said they're pretty, especially in your neighborhood. They don't usually fly around in the neighborhoods, so I think you're pretty safe. I won't say all the time because there's crazy people.
If you have to have that to go everywhere, just be very particular in where the location of your house is going to be. Because like here, I just started thinking, just hit me. If I was in a wheelchair or if I was in a motorized scooter or whatever, and I lived by myself and I had to go to the mailbox and get my mail every day, here you have to drive your scooter down a road with cars to get to our mailbox.
Yeah, but once you cross over Hillsborough, there's a sidewalk.
But between when you get out to the main road, you got to go right in the golf cart trail and take it down Hillsborough Trail till you get to the mailbox, then cross over. And even coming back, there's a sidewalk there, but there's no curb to get you into this neighborhood in a wheelchair. You'd have to jump that curb, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
So
to cross over, yeah.
I would check things like that out. Where's the swimming pools? Where's the rec centers? Where's the mailboxes? And then look and see if you had a wheelchair and you had to use that every day to see how you can get there. It could be a problem. I'm just saying I don't think it's a big problem, but it could be a problem. Otherwise, they got these different assisted living places around here. They're expensive though. I got to tell you, I'm hearing prices of $5, $6, $7,000 a month that you have to pay for.
Yeah. Well, but like I said, I wouldn't be too concerned with it because people are used to watching for golf carts and things like that along with the traffic. I'm not sure if there may be some areas where they do have signs. I know there's signs that says merge with traffic. But like I said, I can't think of any particular place that would be just sidewalks. Like I said, all on your main streets, Hillsborough Trail out here, there's sidewalk all the way along it. But like Skip said, to get from the neighborhood to there's no opening in the sidewalk there. There is at the post office station.
Right.
So you can get on the sidewalk there and come all the way down, but then you have to get down the curb to go across the street.
There's no easy access there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking over here where Deb used to live, there was a guy there that was blind, legally blind. That doesn't mean he can't see, but he's declared legally blind. And it seems to me he filed something because there wasn't something there. He wanted to walk down to the rec center. And because of the way it was designed, he didn't feel safe at all. And they made some changes. I wish I could tell you the whole story, but I don't. So there is an outlet if you do have a problem in your area and the American Disabilities Act comes in play, that there are things you can do to get things rectified. You shouldn't have to, but I mean, you know. Richard Wesner, a $5 super chat, says, how's it going? It's going good, man.
Yeah, the rain's quit.
Yeah, blue skies. Let me see if I can turn this around real quick.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can break something. Where's the turnaround button?
And if y'all are just joining us, you'll have to wait until the replay comes
look
out.
At look at them sky. You can see enough of it. Look at that sky out there all of a sudden. Look at the leaves on the palm trees. Hardly even moving. It's like it wasn't even here.
Yeah. Like I said, if you get a chance, check the replay and watch us when we scramble with the storm coming up.
Yeah, you'll see us out there when the storm hits and flower pots fell over and I had to grab the whole side of the house to keep my awning from blowing up and over. God, what a mess.
Yes.
But you know, when you go live, this is some of the problems you may have.
Yeah. And we just signed on when it come up. It was just that quick. No. No,
not in the garage. That's a square. What's she talking about?
She's talking to someone else.
She's talking to you. So Desmondy, didn't you? Desmondy, you don't need one on a closed loop cruise.
I think a passport.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, Mimi.
David Pickney. That seems like a new name, isn't it? I love it. If your guys are on here and you're new, you've never been here before, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, we love new people.
My mind, I don't remember things like I used to. So when I see David Pickney, I don't recall seeing that name before. I mean, you may have been watching before, but you never made a comment.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't.
Subscribe. We're on here every week.
Says you preferred up around Brownwood area or the Spanish Springs area. Truthfully, if you want to know 100% how I really feel about the way things are right now, and things change all the time as they keep building, areas pop up that I've been to, and I look at them, I go, man, this is a good idea for one thing or another. But right now, if I had my choice, money was no object at all, I would buy a house around Lake Sumter Landing area. I've always liked that area. I like Brownwood, don't get me wrong, you know, it's a great area, but Lake Sumter Landing still appeals to me.
Oh, Desmondy says she didn't mean parking Jose's cart in the garage. She meant head in at the squares.
What about it?
Would it fit?
Well, you should have to park it like a car. You can't park like most golf cars because the ass end will be sticking out too far probably, but he could park it like a car.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And remember, when it comes to parking situations that people always complain about, everybody says there's not enough parking at the square, not enough parking at the square. There's plenty of parking down there at the square for 4,000 or 5,000 people. What they're telling you is they can't park next to the square because they don't want to walk anywhere. But behind that whole town, on any building, any restaurant, there's a huge parking lot back there. But you have to walk a little bit to get to town. Now, I understand some people saying, well, with all the golf carts getting stolen, I don't trust leaving my golf cart back there by itself. I understand that part of it. But the truth is, there ain't that many golf carts stolen here. There's a few here and there. And it's usually because, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but like the lady that rented a car. She went up to Lake Sumter. She rented a car, took her golf cart up there, took the car and went to who knows where. She comes back days later to find her golf cart missing. I guess my question is why would you do that? Why would you leave your golf cart parked up next to a car rental company for days at a time?
If you got no other means to get there.
There's always other means. Call an Uber. Call the village's taxi. Have your neighbor take you up there and drop you off. There's always something else you can do.
But Lisa, you get lulled into that sense of security here, and it is very easy to do that, and it's safer here than anywhere in Florida. It really is. But we are, you know, most of the town is open to the public, and you do get people that want to do bad things. What can I say?
Dale McDermott says, we have an old style narrow light switches as well, and we asked the developer about that, and they said it was to cut costs in the villas.
Yeah, he's the one that said that the garage door thing was up high. And I said, so evidently they may be doing different things.
I don't know where he's at.
Newell. That's a new area. Brand new area.
And they have the old light switch?
That's what he said.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that, Dale.
Yeah.
There's so much going on that changed things so much. I can't keep up with it all.
And they've got so many each area's got so many builders, and all of them do different things to cut costs. If they want this house to be in a certain price range, like our house didn't have any blinds, any window coverings at all.
We did not even have the punch pad on the garage door outside.
Yeah, we had to buy that ourselves. And I said we didn't have gutters all the way around. We had gutters at the front door, I think. So yeah, different builders do different things to cut costs. It's a shame that they did that, though.
It is. You know, I get a lot of questions about building quality between here and there and this and that. And there's no easy one blanket answer to anything because they change everything. They have so many contractors here that build so many different homes. I don't know how they do it. I don't know the exact process there. But just like in our neighborhood, some of the homes in here came with washer and dryer. Ours didn't. Some of the homes came with blinds of some kind on the windows. Ours didn't. Some of them came with the keypad to open a garage door if you know, outside. Ours didn't. So there's no one answer for every home being built.
Yeah. But yeah, when you're looking for a home, like I said, if that's something that's important to you, that's something you should check out. And I know you can't think of everything. When you're looking for a house, you can't think of every little thing. But like, kind of make you a list of things that you really want to have because you may not need it this week, but next month you might. Just like the being able to open the garage in a wheelchair. You don't need it right now, but you might down the road. You never know.
Well, one good example is Linda when she bought her new home. I never really thought about it all that much. It wasn't no big deal to me. But she called a guy right away and done at least two major things that I call major. Two things right away is she had electrical plugs added to her bathrooms. And what else was it? Oh, in her kitchen. She had all the plugs taken out of the kitchen, had new plugs put in that had the USB plugs next to the plug. You know what I'm talking about? For like charging the phone and whatever. Yeah. So, and that was important to her, and she done all of them. So those are little upgrades that you may not even notice when you get a house.
Ruth Rader says, really smoky in Canton, Ohio, and it stinks outside. Yeah, it's the Canada fires. They're still going on.
Well, says, Skip, did your awning wind sensor? Yeah, it did, but the problem was the wind here came all of a sudden, and then what happened was it started to go up at the same time that the motor kicked in to reel it in. I didn't want it to blow up over the house and break, so I grabbed the front of it. Well, when I grabbed the front of it, it's kind of working against the motor. So I'm holding it down and pushing it in and all this and that. So anyway,
And so he said, if you haven't seen it, watch the replay. You can see how goofy we look. But yeah, I knew it was going to rain.
Well, I did too, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, or we wouldn't even have set up out there.
No, I'd have set up back here and been done with it. Matter of fact, I probably would have set up back here with a little bit better setup. But this is okay. It gets me by. The thing that I'm upset with, I got so much equipment in there that would do such a better job, but none of that equipment will hook up to an iPad.
Oh, well, Kevin must have to leave. He said, "Have a nice day, everyone."
Is he leaving us?
Evidently.
Oh.
Yeah. Oop. I said I wasn't going to do that, but okay. Yeah, it's just as calm as could be. You can't see the wind doing anything right now. That's really something.
I just come down. Barbara Ebner just got on. Where you been, Barbara?
Yeah, Bill, I believe the new homes come with all the appliances except washer and dryer. But, not everyone, though. That's just it. It depends on your builder. And I know the guy that built this house was a different builder than the guy that built the house next door.
Yeah.
And so they have their own criteria for what they want to leave out to save money. So each builder has their own list. But most of them, I think most of the new ones do.
Well, it's just, like I say, it's just, like during COVID, for example, and we videoed 2 or 3 homes. They're on there. You can find them. And one of the brand new homes that we went down and videoed because the new buyers were subscribers of ours and asked if I wanted to come down and do a video before they actually moved in. I said, yeah, because I hadn't done that model. And we went down there and we videoed it. And the first thing I noticed was in your kitchen, you had the microwave, dishwasher, refrigerator. Those are the 3 appliances, right?
Sure.
All 3 of them were different brand names, which is unusual here. Usually it's all GE or all Whirlpool or whatever. Well, during COVID, that's what they had to do because they couldn't get all this stuff anymore.
Yeah. Denise in Florida, what I wouldn't give for rain in Hillsborough County. Well, honey, you can have ours. I don't know what to tell you. You must be in one of those spots where it kind of goes, because we usually are. And that's what surprises me. We're usually right in that little crook there where it just goes north or south of us. And it just didn't today. So hopefully maybe you'll get some soon. Because we were in a drought area for a while, but the last few weeks has made up for it. We've had quite a bit of rain. The ponds are filling up.
I can remember about the first or second year we lived here. I don't remember what year it was exactly. Donnie and them lived next door. We was on vacation somewhere. And I had my water sprinklers shut off usually during the rainy season. Like right now, my water sprinklers hasn't been turned on for a long time. Don't need it. So he calls us up. He says, hey, he said, your front yard's starting to turn brown. You want me to turn your water sprinklers on? I said, well, yeah. I said, I didn't realize it was turning brown. I guess I never thought about it. So he sent me a picture of it turning brown. It looked dead. The whole front yard did. And that's against our deed restrictions here. It says on the front of your deed restriction, your yard is to remain green at all times. Now, take that with a grain of salt. If it's a drought and you're watering and it's still not the heat, it's the heat that kills the grass, not really the lack of water. But, yeah, so that was like the second year. And after that, well, the first year we lived here, we bought this house in October, I think, moved in November of 2014. The first month we lived here, we're still unpacking, moving stuff around, that kind of thing. And every day, literally for 24 hours a day, for like 10 days right in a row, it'd rain hard and then it'd sprinkle. And then it might quit for a little while, and then rain some more and then sprinkle. It did this 24 hours a day, 10 days in a row. And I told Sue, I said, oh my God, what did I move into? I didn't think we were going to be able to do anything.
But it was a tropical system. We're surrounded by water, the whole state. And I said it was a tropical system. And when it gets out there and stays in one spot, which we don't have that kind of rain most of the time. It's just a spurt and it's gone, just like today. But like I said, when there's a tropical system out there, it's working, rotating, and it stays in one spot, and so you have continuous rain. But like I said, it's not normally like that. So that's the only time I ever remember it being like that. So, Kathy Miller says, I had a meet and greet with you pre-COVID. I've continued to watch, but making definite plans to move in a couple months. I haven't commented much, but here now. Well, hi, Kathy. How are you? Glad you're coming down. Really. I mean, this is a wonderful place to live. And I said, there's a lot of ifs and ands and that kind of thing, but it's a nice life. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. We're living the dream. Okay, now you can comment.
What? No, it's a nice place to live. Listen, I got about a 5 to 7 year attention span, and I've been ready to move for the last 2 years. She knows it.
Yeah.
I haven't really went out seriously and looked at anything yet, but I mean, up here it just rolls around.
But we did that all our life. We had 17 houses because like every 5 to 7 years we'd move. And of course we were making money on the houses is the reason we done it, but still, but I haven't had the inkling to move from here. So, but like I said, he's kind of restless when it comes to that kind of thing.
Jim says, hi, everybody. How do the wood frame houses hold up to concrete houses during storms? Well, I can tell you, Jim, I've got video on my channel about the Hurricane Irma that went right straight through here. The eye of the hurricane hit the villages after the so-called Hurricane Wobble. You probably never heard about that. We didn't either until we moved here. And that's all the news talked about while the hurricane was making its approach to Tampa. The Wobble. Who knew? So,
Never heard such a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't going to hit here at first. It was just going to skirt on the north side up around Ocala, I think. And then it wobbled, and then it came through here. Mm-hmm. So everybody here, I won't say everybody, but a bunch, they were boarding them up, and they were packing their bags, and they were going to head out. And then there was several fights that started at gas stations where people was fighting over gas. The police were called out to make people get back so that the gas trucks could come in and fill the gas tanks back up. It was a mess. I mean, I couldn't believe these people were acting this way. But then again, these are the same people that bought 500 rolls of toilet paper during COVID. So, yeah, we went through all that, and I did videos of it. My neighbors would call me or send me a text and say, hey, because they asked if I was going to go. And I said, no, I'm going to stay here because I wanted to know during a hurricane. First of all, we're inland, and I knew by the time a hurricane got here, it was going to lose at least half its strength. We know that. But I wanted to see the first year we was here, or second year we was here when Irma hit, how well built is my house? Do I know that these windows won't leak in a 90-mile-an-hour wind? Do I know that the door is waterproof and the water won't come seeping in underneath the bottom of the door? I don't know any of that. Do I know the water won't get in the garage? I don't know. And nobody else really here knows. They do now, but they didn't then. So I stayed here and I did video of before the storm, as the storm hit, and I went around the house and showed things. And then neighbors were sending me texts saying, hey, I've been watching your channel. Can you go by my house and do video? I would just feel much better knowing that it's still there. Then they'd say, oh, hey, do me a favor. We forgot to bring in our patio furniture in the back. Could you bring it in and set it in my garage for me? So I think I spent all day one day, me and who else? Bob. We went around this whole neighborhood picking everybody's stuff up and putting it in their lanai, putting it in their garage, all these kinds of things. And then after the storm, I went around and did video showing what kind of damage we had and there's a lot of controversy about it. It was either a high 1 category by the time it got here, or a very, very low 2. The winds were sustained around 90 miles an hour with gusts of like 110-ish. I lost, I think, about 20 shingles. Some other neighbors lost shingles. Some neighbors did not lose shingles. Some neighbors lost bushes because the ground got so wet on their property, the water didn't drain off fast enough that when a gust of wind came along, the bush disappeared with it. Yeah. Bob next door lost a tree, a small tree they planted, and we went looking for it. We never did find that tree. I don't know where it ended up going.
What he's asking is, the wood frame houses
Well,
as
that's
opposed
my
to the
point.
concrete.
But as far as damage to my house goes, compared to a stucco home, we didn't suffer any more damage than anybody else. We did not lose any vinyl siding whatsoever. Our gutters did not come falling off. All I lost, the only damage I sustained was wind damage, and I lost like 20 shingles. And I didn't want to wait for the guy to come around and do it, so I bought the shingles and replaced them myself.
Yeah.
That is it. And I've been here going on 10 years, and truthfully, we have never had I would say, a construction problem here that I can think of, except maybe in the garage, because there is no insulation in my attic in the garage. And I don't know if that would have anything to do with my problem out there. But when they put the sheathing up in the garage and plastered it, there's something there's something amiss there, because the paint itself, I'll say paint, maybe the plaster too, has got a fine line that goes all the way down the garage where you can actually see where the two come together, plastered and stuff underneath, and there's a fine line that goes all the way down the garage where you can see it. I've called about the warranty on that. Don't waste your time. That's not under warranty. I don't really know what's under warranty here. But as far as bugs, insects, termites, and all that kind of stuff, the vinyl siding warping, coming off, or any of that kind of stuff, no, we have never had a problem here.
Yeah.
And our other home, the patio villa we have, was a vinyl home. It's still there to this day. And as far as I know, there's never been a problem there either.
Yeah. All right. David S. says, "Hey, Skip, I saw your Cokes in a bottle at Home Depot yesterday." Oh, I didn't know they had them there. $32.99 for 24. Yeah, they're expensive.
Crazy.
But he
wait a
says, "You
minute.
still
Did he
remind
say
me of every uncle I ever had."
Did he say 32?
Uh-huh.
Is there, how many's in the case?
24.
24, so that'd be less than $2 a bottle. The average Coke at any store you go to is $1.50.
Well,
right?
Okay. Yeah, but usually when you buy them by the case, they're not that.
Well, around
that
here,
expensive.
everybody goes to like CVS and buys them canned Cokes, because they have them on sale all the time for like, what is it, $3 a case or something?
Then what they do is buy two, get one free.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we've got canned Cokes out there, don't get me wrong, we got them. I can drink canned Cokes, I just don't prefer it.
Yeah.
I'm from the generation that even the milk came in a glass jar.
And I let him indulge that kind of stuff every once in a while. I said, so, hey, Fireball. Are you new, hey, Fireball? I don't think I've seen your name on here before. So I was in Gainesville then, and we didn't have any major home issues either with the hurricane. Yeah, it's, the hurricane went a different direction, but like he said, we're inland. And so by the time it gets to us, it's kind of pooped out. That doesn't mean you can't be prepared. You need to be prepared for it. And one of the things, like you said, the people from the southern part of the state was heading north. And so that's why the gas stations run out of gas. Everybody heading north had to stop and get gas. And by the time, you think, well, we better go get some gas, or somebody has to work every day.
He says, yes, he's new. Well, thanks for coming, Fireball. We hope to see you every week.
But yeah, the stations run out of gas. So somebody said, it doesn't hurt to be prepared, because, Irma didn't do that kind of thing, but you don't know about the next one. You don't know how strong they're going to be. Like I said, normally by the time they get here, they're not a big problem. But hurricanes spawn tornadoes. And that was the biggest thing, I think, in, 2017? 2017 or 2007, one or the other. The hurricane went through and it caused a tornado in the Mallory area.
Oh, that was long before 2000. I was still working.
Okay, 2007 then.
Yeah, 2007. Probably.
Yeah, and there's a plaque at the recreation center there. There's a plaque there that's dedicated to the people that lived in the area, and they helped their neighbors and things like that. But you could stand at the Mallory pool and look down the road, and all you could see was blue tarps, because there was a lot of damage done there by the tornado, not by the hurricane.
But give credit where credit's due. The old developer back then he pulled all of his contractors off of building new houses and told them to go up there and help them people.
Yeah.
And they went up there and they put the roofs on them houses and got things going again. Got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Orlando Way, long-time listener, first-time caller. Aside from, well, you started well. That's the end of it.
Bye, Ron. He's got to go. Yeah, you watch it on replay. Like I said, if you guys are just tuning in, watch the replay and watch us make fools of ourselves because that storm came up so quick and we had to scramble to move everything. And but we managed.
Well, Jose's got a good one for you also. It says his home is a 1984 manufactured and is still there without any major damage. And that's a lot of storms and hurricanes
Yes.
in that amount of time. And I've said that. I see, people do worry about hurricanes, and it is something to think about, about stuff. But just think about them manufactured homes up there. And they've been there since the 80s, and they're still there.
Yeah.
So by the time the storm gets in the middle part of the state, it loses a whole lot of its power. But you still need to be prepared. Like when we had our hurricane here, I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I kind of had an idea that it probably wasn't going to be a major issue, but we both thought we're going to lose electricity because our electricity doesn't come from here. It comes from somewhere else. I figured they're going to blow some trees down. We're going to lose electricity. So my thought was at the time, of course, I had my jackery. That's a big deal. And then I went out and I got all my solar lights that's around the flower beds and the trees. I brought them in the house, shut them off, cleaned them off, and laid them in the sink, figuring if we need lights, I got these solar lights that'll last for a while.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I never thought about that. But, they did work, but we never
lost electricity. No.
We never lost cable.
Never lost cable, no.
Yeah, I was watching TV, watching the storm people scramble around everywhere, which was really a shock. I mean, even in Indiana, we went through tornadoes, and I said, normally you'd lose your TV and electricity. That's what happens. But we didn't lose either here, which was incredible.
In our area, I think some of the villages had problems in the tunnels, usually from debris blocking the drainage in there. But in our area, because that's what I was really wanting to know, because we lived somewhere once where water was a problem. And I don't want to go through that again. And I drove around during the middle of this hurricane. I wanted to see how the water disappeared. Or is our streets going to get flooded? I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from the very beginning of the hurricane to the very end, we never had any standing water in our neighborhood, other than maybe in the yard here and there, little puddles here and there. We didn't have any standing water.
Yeah. Oh, Orlando Way. Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah. Well, next time I do my live call-in show, Orlando, be sure to call in.
Aside from going to pool, live music, and golf, what else would you do on a lifestyle visit?
A lifestyle visit? Well, the first thing I would do, one of the things I would do was do the trolley tour.
Yeah.
Grab yourself a coat, something you're comfortable with, get on a trolley tour, and they'll take you around. I don't know where they take you anymore, but they'll take you around to probably some of the newer areas of the villages and tell you about this place over here, this place over there. And they do all the driving, and you can just kind of like get a good view of things, because if you're coming down and you've never been here, I can almost guarantee you that you're not going to be able to find your way around to everything anymore. You go down to a new area. There's areas down there I've never been to. I've never been to Newell. I don't even know where it is. I've never been to Eastport, and I know they're building it.
Yeah.
But it's down there. So, do a trolley tour. And just for fun, you might do, if they still do it, the boat ride.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, just for fun, take the boat ride. It's not very long. It only costs a couple bucks. And the captains on the boat are very good storytellers. You'll enjoy it. And it's kind of a nice respite in the middle of the day to just go get on the boat, unless it's cooler out there on the water. But like I said, that's something if you don't have time for, it's no big deal. But I would check out the regional rec centers. I mean, all the rec centers are beautiful, but check out the regional rec centers, in which there's 12 or 13, I think. But they're beautiful. I mean, we love the Eisenhower because it's all military. And it's got some of the things in there that just will wow you. I mean, they really, especially if you've been in the military or family has been in the military, the stuff in there is just incredible. But also, Lake Miona. Lake Miona is kind of my favorite because it's got a fireplace in it that you can walk through. It's that big. But the decoration, the way these places are put together, is just incredible. Everglades. Everglades, another one. You know, it just looking at the place, it just wows you. They don't spare any expense on decorating these places, and they have a theme for each one. And like I said, our go-to is Eisenhower because it's close to us, and it's all about the military, and they just have so much unique stuff in there.
Yeah, these regional rec centers, not only are they there for your guest passes, that's where you got to get a guest pass, is at regional rec centers, not your local rec center, which is neighborhood rec centers, your regional rec centers. But also, the regional rec centers is where a lot of activities are at, and they're scheduled. And usually they got a schedule in there showing you what's there and what's coming up. I've been to some kind of, just for observation, really. I didn't take a camera. I sat in for about 20 minutes at some banjo club that meets at Eisenhower, and they're all learning I'm not sure what they were learning. They're either learning how to play a specific song, or these were new people and somebody was teaching them how to play a banjo. But anyway, that's what they do there. They have ping pong clubs. They have shuffleboard, and they're kind of in a bar. You know, little pucks that you got them in there. They got all kinds of stuff, and I've seen people literally every day that'll go into a regional rec center with a cup of coffee and a newspaper. And they'll go in there and grab their favorite seat, and they'll sit there for maybe an hour or two and just read a newspaper and drink coffee. I mean, they're open to the residents. It's yours to enjoy. I mean, it's not one of them where it's just for this or just for that. And
they do have, the regional rec centers do have Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But and that's a lot of people go in there and work if they don't have Wi-Fi at home.
And even if you don't golf, let me get this in there. Even if you don't golf, when you go up and get your resident IDs, they're going to give you a paper that has your golf ID number on there, and you're going to say, well, I don't golf, and throw it away. Do not throw that away, because that golf ID number is what allows you to sign in on the Wi-Fi at any of the regional rec centers.
Yeah. Oh, James Reeves says, greetings from Phoenix. It's 98 degrees and 11% humidity.
Well, Phoenix being in the middle of the desert, and yet you're cooler than they are in Texas.
Yeah, we're having some of that weather, James.
Yeah, we're 90 today, I think. And you walk outside, that humidity hits you right in the face. I mean, it's definitely there. And of course, after a rain now, it's even worse. But that's just what it is.
Yeah.
If you don't like humidity, you don't want to move to Florida.
Hi, Janice. Troy Middlestat. So many ads in your newspaper buying golf carts for cash. How much do you think they give for used carts compared to the village's golf carts?
Well, it depends. You want electric? You want gas? You want to buy a custom cart like yesteryear that looks like an old Model T Ford? See, there's no one easy answer for everything. Yeah. If you get a standard Yamaha gasoline, which is what I recommend, because it's just fill it up and go. You don't have to worry about anything else. I've got a 2015 custom. There's a lot of customization to it. My cart right now is probably worth, on an average, I'll say a 9, give or take. But you can go to the village's website, and they got a place there that people advertise golf carts for sale. You can go to Talk of the Villages. There's a tab there that local people here that live here will advertise stuff for sale. Everything from golf carts to furniture. Yeah. Matter of fact, go to thevillagesnews.com. I think he's got a tab, a classified section there of things for sale. I check them out once in a while just to see what's on there. And on my Patreon page, sometimes I'll even take a whole bunch of them ads and make a small little video, and I put it on the Patreon page for people that might be interested in buying things. But a newspaper, I'm sure that the Daily Sun probably has advertisements in
Yeah,
there.
they have a classified section
So,
too.
but to get yourself a decent golf cart, I'm going to say expect to spend. I mean, you can buy prices like used cars. You can get them all over the place. 2-seaters, 4-seaters. You want the 4-seater where the guys behind you are looking the wrong way. You want to get it like Jose's cart with everybody looking forward. You want to get custom seats. All this stuff costs money.
Yeah.
But you might get them as cheap as $4,000 for one that's half wore out. A brand new one with all the customization to it probably go as high as 30. How much were those ones you guys looked at? You and Deb.
With street rods, they were in the 25 range.
And that's with no customization.
Yeah, and that's been a few years ago. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you want to buy a brand new Yamaha, that's what 90% of people's got, gas Yamahas. They start out probably around 13 or 14, but trust me, it's going to go up from there because you got to pick stuff out. You got to pick out the seat. Do you want to keep the standard golf cart seat? You can. There's nothing wrong with it. Most people don't because this is going to be your car. You're going to use it a lot. So they usually get an upgraded seat. Mm-hmm. There's another $1,000 to $2,000. Do you want any other plugs in there? A USB plug? Do you want a cigarette lighter plug? Do you want a coat rack thing up here? Do you want a big cooler? It just goes on. Yeah. So just expect, if you're going to buy a brand new one, I would say just expect to spend at least 15, 16 grand for a brand new one.
But as far as comparing the two, you can get, a decent price if you buy used from the golf cart store. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. If you're buying it off an individual, you might not be comfortable with buying a used cart if you don't know anything about the person, and you would be with the golf cart store because they service them. But it's kind of up to what you're comfortable with. I don't think you'd get better pricing if you're looking, apples to apples.
Yeah, pricing is just what it is. I mean, you tell me, is a Cadillac cheaper in Indiana than buying a Cadillac here? It's the same car, it's just a different dealership. I think I look at things here differently. I look at things as convenience for me. And I bought mine off the Village's golf cart store because, one, they guaranteed for as long as I own this cart, I'll never be without a golf cart, no matter what. So if I take it in for service, they got to keep it for 2 or 3 days. They give me a new golf cart to drive around. And the other thing is just convenient. I just take it down there and drop it off, get the oil changed. Me and her walk down, have lunch somewhere, come back and pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like. You buy a golf cart off campus. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But if you need some work done to it, they got to come down with a trailer now and pick your golf cart up. And will they give you a golf cart to use while yours is gone? That's something you got to talk to them about. And just those little things. And I'm just not interested in that. I like the convenience of being able to just get in my cart. 5 minutes later, I drop it off, and it's done.
Yeah. And somebody did mention, I don't know if they still do that, somebody had mentioned that they bought one off campus, and they went to the Village golf carts to have it fixed or repaired or something, and they wouldn't work on them.
I've heard that. I don't know if that's 100%. You can call a Village golf cart store and ask them, but yeah. I've heard that the Village golf carts sell so many golf carts now that if you didn't buy it off Village's golf cart store, that they were starting to refuse service.
Now, we don't know that for a fact.
I don't know
I'd
that
call
for a
and
fact.
find out before I'd buy one off campus. Yeah.
But it's another one of them things you may ask if you're looking for carts. Ask those kinds of questions.
A Fireball says, "Oh my God, we lived in Bloomington, Indiana for a couple of years, and the storms there were bad, scary." Yeah, they are. I mean, we're from Indiana. They are scary. Like especially like the tornado season, just like hurricane season here. We had tornado season there, and you didn't get a week's notice when there was a tornado coming. I mean, it was just kind of like that. So yeah, they're scary storms. I still got family in Bloomington.
In Bloomington?
Yeah.
She graduated.
Well, she still lives there.
Oh, I thought she moved.
No, they still live there. They have the Bloomington Symphony. Okay. Oh, 66 degrees with smoky haze here in Erie. Wow. Well, how did you get down that low? 66 degrees this
Yes.
time of year.
Desmond said she likes to have a golf cart that looks like a 56 Chevy Bel Air. Well, I've seen 57s. I will tell you that. So my mind says if they got a 57, you can probably get a 56.
Yeah, yeah. And there are some places now. We used to rent off the golf cart guy, and I said this is way, way back. And I said, and they would custom make them for you. If you wanted a 56, they would make you a 56. But I know when Fox News was down here at one time, they did some kind of anniversary show here, and every one of the the people on the Fox Morning Show, it's always two guys and a blonde. But like I said, every one of them come in on a custom golf cart. I think one was a Cadillac, one was a Mustang, that kind of thing. So you can have them made, if that's the kind you want.
Yeah, the golf cart man was actually first and only golf cart store in the villages back in the day.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah, Village of Deem have one. Matter of fact, you can probably go to YouTube and type it in. Golf cart man, Fox News. They did a complete thing on him. And him and his son, Tony, I knew him. He owned 7 homes up there at the historic area. And we rented off of him for several years.
Yeah.
Problem is, one year you got this house over here. The next year you got that house over there. We didn't care.
Yeah. And then unless they were nice places. Yeah. But yeah, you can get any kind you want probably. And I say, if you can't, you can have them made. I know that Street Rod store, they will custom make some for you because I've seen some really cool ones. And we really liked the one that had the rails on the back. It made it look like a truck. It was really, really cute. They said one of them, they even had a surfboard on top of it on the roof to make it look like you were.
There's all kinds of customers here. I've seen a fire truck.
Yeah.
I saw a UPS truck.
Yeah.
Not sure how he gets by with that, but I'm not going to say anything. And then we saw a retired pilot. His golf cart was made up like a jet.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of freaky.
Yeah, I don't think he's around anymore, but that was one. And I think he did all that himself.
I don't know, but it was wild.
Yeah. And it even had the jet engine sound. So when he would put the wings down, because they were folded up when he was driving, but he would put the wings down and it would have that jet engine sound like a jet taking off. It was just so cool.
They've had some parades here where somebody took, I'm sure it's temporary, but somebody took a golf cart and made it look like an army tank and drove it down the road.
Yeah. You don't see as much as the custom stuff as you used to. I don't know why, but.
Because they cost so much.
Well, but yeah, I mean, back a few years, you've seen a lot more than what you do now. But now they have the atomic, and guess they think that's kind of wacky. I don't know. This Mindy says, I'm making all this list for our lifestyle visit. It's getting long. Lots to do. Yeah, there's a lot to do here. And
How long are they going to be here, did they say?
Oh, I don't know. Does Mindy, how long are you going to be here?
If you're going to be here for, say, 4 days, don't try to cram everything in. It's just going to be 4 days. I'm just telling you what I know. It's going to be 4 days of hectic. I'll make up a word. Hectism. It's going to be hectism. And you got to take time for yourself to go to the pool and relax for a couple hours. You got to take time to go to some of the restaurants and have a drink and not worry about things for a while. To kind of immerse yourself a little bit for the time you're going to be here, what lifestyle here is actually about. And, so don't think you got to do everything. And one other thing you might do, it's just a suggestion, that in every newspaper every day, there's a list of open houses for that day. And it tells you the time that they're going to be open, 1 to 4, whatever the case may be. And it tells you what village you're going to be in. If you have kind of an idea of where you may want to go to look at either a new or a pre-owned home, go to a couple of those open houses, and you can actually see what these houses look like. Most of them will have furniture in them, so you can get a better idea of what furniture fits where.
Yeah. Yeah, and
she says 7 nights. 7 nights. Well, that's a longer time, and it's better for you. I can't tell you exactly where to go, what to do, but just take some time for yourself every day. Just don't constantly keep running. You're just going to wear yourself out.
Yes. Oh, Phil's soaking his nuts.
He must be getting ready to make some thuds.
He is. He is. And I'm all out, Phil.
Yeah, and nobody got any during the last Patreon launch.
Yes, Jerry, I'll take one of each because he's got 2 of the Myers Dark Rum and 2 of the Woodford Reserve. So.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's type of booze.
The type of what?
Type of booze.
Oh, I drink beer.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry's, yeah, that's what the salesman said. Drive it like you stole it.
Yeah, that's what he told us. Deb and I went to Street Rods, and Lynn, the guy that was in the shop there, and he told us, drive it like you stole it. And of course, I didn't know where I was going. I was in parking lots, and so we didn't take too long a drive, but I should have took it out a little farther. I don't think they would have minded.
Do we have a pirate ship down here as one of the golf carts? She says she saw the tank, but she never saw the pirate ship. I don't know if I've even seen the pirate ship. It can be done.
Yeah.
What they do, I think, is they just take plywood, thin plywood or cardboard or something. They paint it up, make it look like something, and then they somehow fasten it to the side of the golf cart. Christmas time is you'll see a lot of golf carts decorated. They have lights on them, Christmas trees sitting on top of them.
Yeah. At one time, we had the world's largest golf cart parade, Christmas parade. Yeah. And now they do it at the polo field now because it's so big. But that's, I don't know, they do decorate though. You don't need a pass to go on the trolley tour. You go to the sales center. It's where they usually have. I'm not even sure which one they have them at now.
I know they pick them up down here at Brownwood. I've seen them down there.
And somebody told me they didn't.
But they also park them up at Lake Sumter, so I'm saying you could probably get on them up there too.
Yeah, but usually the sales center, at the back of the sales center, is usually where they have the trolleys. And I don't know how many they have now, whether they have 1, 2, 3. And I know they take you to the new areas. But yeah, they're just, you've got somebody on board telling you where you're at and where you're going and telling you a little bit about the villages. And it's kind of a nice little respite from the heat. And you get to see the areas. And remember, the new areas do not have the vegetation that we have here. Because I know that the northern part from here, some of the trees and landscaping is beautiful because they've had more time. So the new area is a little sparse on landscaping, but they will eventually look the same. I mean, everything grows, and everything grows like crazy
when we
here.
first moved here, there wasn't any.
Yeah.
All the stuff you see, on my videos, you see around here, none of it was here, except a little bit in the front yard. And the contractors throw a little bit of cheap stuff here and there, and
Yeah, but you don't need a pass, but you do need to go to the sales center so they have a list of you. And he says, I love your YouTube shows. Well, thank you. And he must be new too. I've not heard that name. Jay Seward?
Who?
Jay Seward?
I'm reading William Rizzo says, we decked out our cart for the Santa Con.
Yeah, and you didn't know about Santa Con because I didn't until Rizzo told me about it.
I never heard of it.
Well, it was kind of a neighborhood thing up there.
Oh.
We went to Belglade and
So the pirate ship is in St. Catherine.
Ah, okay. Well, that's new. I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah. The rain's gone, Riz. It was just a really quick storm that come up and it's gone. Sun's back out and everything's drying out. And the heat's coming back up. After it rained, it cooled down a little bit. Felt pretty good out here, but it's warming up. So Orlando Way actually lives in Orlando now.
Des Mindy says, she corrected it. She knew I was going to make fun of it. Says, I've been writing on my husband since we first visited my cousin in 2020 and then in 2021. She'd been writing on him. Then she wrote again saying, working on.
All right. You knew what he was going to say. You knew
Well,
he was going
yeah.
to catch that.
How do you not comment on that?
Yeah. And yeah, there's a Jerry pulled up the app for Jose's coffee. Jose's still selling coffee, and pretty good coffee. And I said, and that's how you can find him. Latino coffee. Uh, Florence Keenan said, I'd like to buy a new one and a warranty on a gas car Yamaha, and spent about 17 to 20.
I don't know what they are now. Just more stuff you need to find out. When I bought my gas golf cart, it came with a 5-year warranty. And I don't know what they are now. I think Jose said he bought his. It's a Recon. It looks brand new. I swear to God it does.
Yes.
And I think he said it was the warranty was 1 year less. So he probably has a 4-year warranty. If it's still 5 like mine was. And I don't know that it is. It's something you need to check on.
Bill says not Yamaha, Mama Halls.
Yeah.
And Mike Siebel says, I just bought a new custom gas Yamaha, 21,000.
I don't doubt it. By the time you buy seats, our seats, I got the double bucket seat with both sliders. And I'm going back almost 10 years ago. 2015. And they was 1,700 back then installed. Today, I have no idea what they would cost. But he is right about one thing. The seat manufacturer and the cart manufacturer are two different manufacturers. So the color code from one manufacturer to the other manufacturer can change a lot. Red just ain't red, and white just ain't white. We've had that, when we talked to our guy, we had a plat we could choose from when it comes to colors. And actually, our colors came out pretty good, but the red that's on my seats is not exactly the same red that the cart is, but it's close enough for us.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Let us know you're there. We've had several new people this week.
Good. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, we don't do anything important. I mean, we're not, giving you the topic of the world. Just want to remind you it is hurricane season, so be prepared. And like I said, the smoke thing from Canada, that just amazes me it's still going on. And I hope y'all get some fresh air.
Because the Canadians can't figure out how to put a fire out. They're waiting for us to come up there and do it for them.
Stop it.
Well, we've already sent stuff up there. How much money are we supposed to spend on a foreign country? I don't care if it's Mexico or Canada. Facts of it is, how much are we supposed to spend on a foreign country? Take care of your own problems, Canada. We got enough of our own.
When you got something bad going on, yeah.
We always have something bad here. Who comes and helps?
A lot of them. You just don't know about it.
Name one.
Oh, when the hurricane tore up
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. There was every country under the sun was down here, even some that you didn't expect.
Who did? Who came?
I can't tell you exactly.
That's right.
I've read it, but I don't remember.
You can't tell me.
Well,
because there was none.
I will find the article and show you.
This is why our insurance company's running away.
Well, like I said, there's so many other countries that contribute when you have a disaster like that. And this is a disaster for Canada. I mean, I'm sure they wasn't expecting it to go this long.
Poor Canada's having a disaster. That's just a shame.
Oh, my.
I've got stuff here in my email. I'm looking for stuff to respond to. Robin Murray, letterbox and sidewalks. Were they on there?
I didn't see anything.
Why not have sidewalks for invalid chairs or invalid chairs and post boxes near your house? Fred and Fran Murray, UK. That's just the way it's designed. That's the way it was approved to design. We're not going to have mailboxes in front of our house here. It ain't going to happen. So, you can forget that argument. It ain't going to happen. Yeah. It's all going to be postal stations. You'll probably find out it's because that's what the postal station required. They're probably going to say, we will do that, but we won't do this. And so You know, when you start talking about gas, going around neighborhoods, driving all day long, every day of the week, putting stuff in people's mailboxes, as opposed to driving to a postal station, parking the vehicle, and then loading up the. It's probably in the long run the best way to go.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it, except here's one problem that I will say, and I've talked to people about it. They've mentioned it too. If you're 7 feet tall, and the postal station does not assign you that postal box, I thought they did, but they don't. Apparently, the villages assigns the postal boxes to the house, right? You told me this.
That's why they're all in a line, yeah.
My point is, the postal station does not assign you the box.
Yes, they do.
I thought you said a developer did. You said that they go by the house number and it goes
They
down.
do go by, that's the way they're put in the building. But like I said, the post office is the one that decides that.
So they say that post box number 1 goes with that house.
Right.
Post office box number 2 goes with that house.
Right.
So when that house gets sold, they still get that same number 1 post box.
Right.
Okay. So here's the argument. And I just know somebody's going to take this the wrong way. Let's say you're 7 feet tall and you buy a house and they end up giving you a mailbox that's on the very bottom. And you've got back problems and maybe neck problems and knee problems. And you got to go down there every day to get your mail. Or let's say you come here and you have a height problem. I can do it. And let's say you're 4 feet tall and they give you the mailbox of the house you bought is the one way up on top and you can't even reach it. That's the problem.
And that's why it goes with the house and not with the person owning the house. Because
right, but if the person with, let's say, 4 feet tall buys that house, this is one of the questions nobody asks. Nobody knows until closing. They hand you the keys. Then you go to the mailbox and go, well, it's way up there. And you can't change it.
Well, I think you can go to USPS and they may be able to accommodate you, but I don't know that for fact. But yeah, I think it's because I only have a problem when we go to the, one side of the postal station is for parcels. If you've got a package of some kind, and the only time I have a problem is if it's on the top. I said I have no muscles to get anything out of the top, even if I could reach it. So that's an issue. But like I said, that's why the number goes with the house, because they can't give individuals everything they want. Robin
wants to know what you're resting your tablet on. She don't have a tablet. That's her cell phone.
Yeah, that's my cell phone, and it's a I forget what they call them. It's got a little.
It's called a kickstand.
Yeah, it's got a loop here to stick your finger in if you want to hold it like this, and then it's got a little pull out. It's on the case. Nice. I've got an OtterBox, and it's on the case. And I really like it this way. It's easier for me to do it. I can actually look down at it without constantly being looking at my phone, like I do when we're out front, because I know that's annoying to people that both of us are sitting there looking at our phone. It's the only way we can see what you guys are saying, and it's the only way we can answer you actually is if we're looking at the messages. And I was going to try the thing where I would just read him the questions and he can do the answer.
I don't like that idea. She will pick out the questions that's not controversial to tell me. I like looking for controversial stuff.
Well, it doesn't matter because, like I said, he doesn't hear me half the time anyhow.
I hear. So, I just know what.
Well, that's why you're up here and I'm down here on the.
Same thing about the mailbox. It could be up there. It could be down here.
You're goofy.
So J.C. Comer says, I got to watch your Friday show and there were only 5 viewers. Then damn internet went down. When I went back to finish up today, 6,500 views. So I keep up the informative show. Yeah, I'll keep doing it as long as people watch it. I really watch to see if it's growing or is it stabilizing off. And if it stabilizes off, that's really a warning sign for me, the way I take it. Even though I know seasonally, views will start to go up a lot, and then other times of the year it goes down a lot because of vacation. Kids are out of school, they're on vacation, they don't watch. Around September and October, the views will start going back up again, right before snowbird season, and people come down looking for a place to buy, that kind of thing, so it goes up a little bit. But I do watch to see if we're, are we leveling off or are we still kind of climbing a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, and hi, Mr. Paul, if you're watching. Jim, coming for 5 days in January with the wife looking at houses. Can't wait to meet you guys. Tell Jose also, drinks on me. Great. Well, get a hold of us, Jim. I said, we're always open to meeting new people. We love that. And I said, it does slow down a little bit in the middle of the summer. It slows down some. But normally we have quite a few during the week.
Comments on the last video I put up about the law changes between gun ownership and the main thing I wanted to put on there was the new laws about golf carts. It starts October 1st. I checked it out. And I got Robert Rutherford. I have no idea what this means. No words. VWOY. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But thanks for the comment.
I have no idea. It's an abbreviation for something, but I don't have any idea what.
I know. I wish he's probably calling me a name here, and I don't get it.
Oh no, I don't. Well, it might be.
I saying, stupid American. Arnavan, we met you a long time ago, and I think he was just moving here then. What do you think now? What's your opinion now? Who is it?
Arnavan.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't remember, but we met him for lunch. And just what's your opinion now since you've been here a while? What do you think?
How long has he been here?
Well, I don't know exactly.
I've always said it takes 2 years. First 2 years is exciting to try everything, to do everything. After 2 years, you start to learn what you're bored with. I don't know hardly anybody. There's a handful, but I don't know hardly anybody that goes down after 2 years. It goes down to the squares on a nightly thing, like they did when they first moved here. You get tired of it. That's all.
Well, and you get other things going on too.
Well, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there ain't that much going on, other than restaurants opening up. But yeah, you get bored with it. We used to go down the square all the time. I loved it at Lake Sumter. Took my dad down there. He loved it. Everybody that come and visit, we would take them down to the square. They loved it. 3, 4 years later, I don't go down near as much. I started asking my golf buddies who've been here for a while, saying, "Hey, do you go down to the square much anymore?" I said, "No." After a couple of years, we just got bored with it.
Yeah. You asked the wives, they all thought, well, we wish we would if the old man would go.
Huh?
I said, you asked the wives. They say, well, we would, but the old man don't want to go anymore.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't mind going down once in a while. Say if we had guests, we'd take them down there.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly care about doing it much anymore. I would. The main reason is because I've kind of gotten into this YouTube thing, and all the music down there is monetized. I can't record that. So I have to dub over it with some other kind of music or cut the music totally out. And then I do a voiceover to tell you about what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then I get 1,000 comments from people saying, I would rather listen to the music than listen to you blab all day. And so I can't win no matter what I do, so I just quit going.
Oh, Matthew O'Malley says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Was having too much fun. What was you doing?
Eating.
Don't call that fun.
I love to eat. Are you kidding me? If I've got in a place where there's some really good food, I can get into it. Like I've been sick for 2 or 3 days now. I had a hankering for some KFC crispy chicken. She went and got a bucket yesterday, and I think I've ate everything but 2 pieces now. And then that'll fix me for a little while. And then I could feel another craving coming on that I've been talking about for a couple of months, really. I haven't been up to my favorite rib place in quite a while. And I'm starting to get a hankering for those.
Oh, I've got a
ribs.
gift card for them.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of them, actually.
I'd like to go up there to have me some ribs.
Yeah. Is Wrestler still on vacation? Jerry wants to know what'd you do with Wrestler?
He's home now. He probably went back to work this week, And I don't know everything he's doing. I know he's getting ready. This is his last year working. I think he figured he's taking a month of January off for vacation time. He's got built up or something, and then February's it. He's it. So he's probably doing a lot of work up there that you can imagine. He's wanting to move down here full time. They got some decisions they got to make. Sell now, come down here and rent for a while, look around. I don't know what he's going to do with all that, but I know that he's got a lot of stuff. They got a boy up there they have to take care of.
And they aren't just settled on the villages. They're looking at other places.
Solovita right now, I think, really is number one on his list.
Yeah, yeah. And I said that fits in their list. So remember when you come down here, this ain't the only game in town. It's probably the biggest. And I said there's nothing like it as far as I'm concerned, but there is other places. A lot of people like smaller. They don't like as much commotion.
I think that's me.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't golf anymore. I can't go to the outside pools anymore. I don't go to the squares anymore. I do sometimes wonder why I'm staying here and paying the amenity fees. And amenity fees ain't the cheapest thing in the world. If your house sits here empty and you don't even live here, it's going to cost you $500 or $600 a month for your house to sit here empty. Correct?
$500 or $600 a month.
If you average everything out, you got homeowners insurance, you got property taxes, you got bond payments, you got the amenity fees, maintenance costs. Yeah, it'll cost you $500, $600 a month just to sit here empty.
Rich G says, coming at the end of August for a lifestyle visit, trying to convince the wife. She'll like it here. Rich, I mean, there's what's not to like? And then I said, if you guys do things, husband and wife, there's a lot of things that you can do together. The reason I like it is because we're not used to that, because he was on the road all the time. So, we were apart a lot of the time. So I had to entertain myself. He had to entertain himself. And so there's things you can do on your own. And I said, yeah, I can't golf. And I wish I could, but I can't. I'm not able. But he was able to, and he wanted to get back into it. So that was a big thing for him. But some of the clubs down here, and I said, you don't have to be physically able. I know people love pickleball, and I love pickleball. I just can't physically do it. And so there's plenty of things for me to do that I don't have to. So you never get bored unless you want to be. So I think your wife will like it. Plus, it's beautiful here.
Gen Xer life.
Yeah.
I check people out sometimes because I don't know who they are. I know he's fairly new on our channel, but he is a member. Mm-hmm. He's got his own YouTube channel. I can't tell you anything about it, but I know he's got one. I found it. It's called Gen Xer Live. So I'm giving you a 5-minute plug here. So go check his channel out.
Yeah. Well, and let's see. Bill said the warranty on golf cart is 5 years on the transmission. I had to pay for a new light module and a new battery.
Well, batteries are never under warranty. And tires, that stuff never is under warranty.
Yeah.
So, but all I know is mine came with a 5-year warranty. Now, what exactly does that include? God, who knows?
All right. And Jerry Bell says Mexico come to help.
So what?
Mexico come to help.
Only because they want to bring us more of their illegal immigrants. Somebody's got to give them a job.
Desmond says she likes the postal station concept. It's nice. I mean, everything's in one place. It's not like having a box outside your door, or at the end of the driveway. It's different. But it's really kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a social thing. If you look at some of the mailboxes and see the stickers that they put on, because people put stickers on their mailbox so they don't forget where they're at.
That'd be me.
Yeah. And he still doesn't know the number for our mailbox.
No, I don't.
So I have a tag on the key that has the number.
I don't even know where the key is to the mailbox.
But people put stickers on their mailbox, and you can kind of tell, where they're from, what kind of person they are from the stickers they put on the mailbox. It's kind of cute.
Mandy K says, I have to convince my husband, so I'm bribing him with golf and a day at Universal. The golf is easy. I don't know when you're coming down, but if you come down here in the summertime and go to Universal Studios and stuff, I hope you're healthy because it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
And those parks are even hotter. People are standing in line in some of them rides down there. I see it on TV. 3 and 4 hour wait times. I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait that long to eat good food. Or you can buy these so-called, I'll call them fast passes. They're not called that anymore. And these fast passes are not free. They're like $25 per person. So you don't have to wait 3 hours in line. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just think all this is nuts. And I don't know how a family of 4, unless they got a really, really good job, I don't know how they can even afford to go down there anymore.
Yeah. Well, you know, people save. I mean, we never did, but people save for vacation. So they have a certain amount of money so they know what to spend.
I understand, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
And with all the different jobs that they talk about that's left, people, I don't know. I don't know what people do anymore. I know how much I made at UPS, and I thought I made a pretty good living.
Yeah.
And if I had to work at UPS today and drag 2 little rugrats down there with me, hotel prices and there, I don't want to get into it. I'm going to say I called Disney once about a hotel to go down for a weekend on our 50th wedding anniversary because during COVID we couldn't go anywhere. And they told me for 2 nights on a weekend for me and Sue to go down there with dinner at the special restaurant that's in this one hotel that I wanted to go to. What did I tell you it was? He told me one.
Edison?
No. How much did I tell you they told me it was?
I don't know. It was in the thousands, I think.
How much?
It was in the thousands, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember.
It was like $7,000 or $8,000 for a weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Arnavan says he loves it down here. Been here 2 years. Said Skip forgot because of senior moments. Yes.
Oh, I have a lot of senior moments.
That's why he has 5 names in his head.
Yeah.
5. Like, if you're outside that 5, I mean, he may recognize you, but as far as your name goes, forget
it. Frank is outside that 5. Sue, me, Linda, Judy, Jose, and Frank.
That's it. But like I said, if he'd see you, he'd probably recognize you right off.
I recognize faces, but sometimes I do have a problem with, if I don't see you on a daily basis or a regular basis, I'll see your face and I'll recognize you, but I may not remember your name. And it's no insult. That's just the way it is. Even my old classmates on Facebook. Sometimes I go on Facebook to get caught up. I don't go to Facebook that much because, truthfully, I just don't trust Facebook anymore. But I do go there because I'm Pendleton Heights High School, class of 70. I'm in there. That's when I graduated. And these people will post their pictures and things, and I'll look at them, and I remember the name, but I sure don't remember this old lady or this old man that I'm looking at. If they would somehow put their high school picture next to their real picture today, then it would, I know who that is.
You know what it is. He looks at him and thinks, I'm not that old.
Well,
those are old people. I'm not.
No, I know I'm that old. I see myself in the mirror, and sometimes when I cough or whatever, I hear my dad because he coughed toward the end of his life and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know I'm getting there.
What's with the haircut? I mean, are you going to do the ponytail thing or?
No.
I mean, you're letting it grow long, and they said you just don't want to cut it, or?
I just thought I'd like to try a trashy look.
It worked. You need a haircut. Okay.
This thing, so I will not wait hours for a theme park ride. I go to short ones. You can go back later. I know, man. It's crazy.
Well, now, they're charging you now if you do the short list. I don't know what they call it now at different places.
Yeah, you got to buy the pass. But when I think it was Disney World, isn't Disney the one that's got the new Star Wars or Star Trek or Star Wars ride thing? When they first opened that up for like the first year, you weren't guaranteed to be able to get on that ride. There was no line. You had to get on your phone like at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, something like that, and try to get in a group. And they give you a number to show up at a certain time to be able to do that ride. And I'm thinking to myself, you got to be kidding me. These people are paying, $200 a day per person to be in there, and I can't do this. That would just royally. Yeah, I don't know. This is why I don't go.
Jerry said, would you wait an hour for a good Indiana pizza?
If Arch was there, well, yeah, I'd probably wait an hour to get that pizza. But he's not there anymore, so no.
And
Ron Pass, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Ron. Is he sitting out on the porch, or did he leave a while ago?
Oh, I don't know.
One of them left. There's a couple, 3 Rons on here, and I don't know which one's which.
Oh yeah. So Skip, don't forget Josie.
What about Josie?
I don't know. We haven't forgot you, honey.
No, I said I have 5.
Oh, okay.
Me, Sue, Linda, Judy, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5.
He's Frank, back to work. So.
Yeah, Frank is out of my 5-name thing. Just like I've got an attention span of about 5 to 7 years, and I'm ready to move on to something else.
Yeah. Well, Jose's going back to work. So.
Okay.
See you later. Oh, Ronald passed $9.99. Yeah. Thank you, Ronald. You know, he's your number 1 fan.
Yeah.
He's telling you that.
He says he's my number 1 fan, but we can't prove that. He hasn't never started a fan club.
Oh, Desmindy said that we rode a Star Wars ride with no wait. Wow.
Well, you can now, but when they first opened it up, I watched Adam the Woo at the time, and I think there's 3 or 4 people that does Disney stuff every day. I can't think of all their names right now. And all of them was going in there to get on that new ride, to do videos there, right? And even these guys with the seasonal passes and all this kind of stuff, they couldn't get on. And one guy was even saying they even looked to see about buying a fast pass, sold out by 7 in the morning. You couldn't even they couldn't even get in there.
Oh, well, Bear Creek girl coming down for our first lifestyle visit in August, already overwhelmed by the activities available. It's incredible. Like I said, there's just no place like it. It's, you know, I mean, you have the same kind of lifestyle you have in any retirement community, but the amenities available here is unreal. Like I said, 3,500 clubs, or 3,000 to 3,500 different kind of clubs or organizations that you can go to. They also have help organizations, like they have an AA here. They have a support group for Jerry's kids. They have a support group for this. You know, I mean, it's just incredible the amount of things you can do here, along with the pickleball, the golf, the like I said, the RC planes, like Jose has. They have RC cars and boats. Deb and I did a video of the sword fighting club. I can't remember what they call it now, but that was kind of the neatest thing. I'd never seen anything like that before. It was just really, really cool. You know, you can learn how to sword fight here, and they have a club for it. And I said, who ever heard of something like that? I mean, back in college maybe, but you know.
Desmini says, I won't pay for the new Disney Genie. I guess that's a fast pass thing.
The Genie, yeah, that's a fast pass.
We went to Disney in early May, and all the rides were practically walk-on, just like the good old days. Man, I would love to show up on that day, but you're never guaranteed that day. Yeah, the idea of waiting for hours to do something, nah, it's just not me.
Jerry said Ron needs help cleaning out his house so he can move to the Villages.
Listen, Ron's not moving to the Villages. He just ain't going to do it. He doesn't know this yet. I'm just letting him know he's not moving here. What he's going to do is this. He's going to find somebody to rent his house up there for a year. And he's going to come down here and rent a place for a year. And then after that, he'll decide what he wants to do. That's what he's going to do.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm just saying he doesn't know that yet, but I do know that, so I'm just telling him that's what he's going to do.
Okay. And poor guy says, I'm your favorite New Yorker, right, Skip?
I got a lot of favorite people in New York. I have met a lot of New Yorkers down there.
Oh, you ought to see some of the mail we get. Like I said, when he does the news and he mentions somebody from New York and he rolls his eyes or he makes a face. Oh my gosh, some of the mail was awful. And we just met wonderful people from New York. So we're not, we're not making fun of it, but it is kind of odd that so many of them ends up in the news
all the time.
all the
I
time.
read the news, and as I'm reading the news, just so you guys know, when I'm reading the news, that's the first time I've read it. I don't pre-read it. I'm not the world's best reader either, so I probably should pre-read it, but I don't. And so when I get there and I'm starting to read about some, I don't know, some drunk that run into a house or something, I'm thinking to myself, please don't be from New York, please. And then the citizens from Buffalo, New York, and then I get to laughing because, oh my God,
And they think we're making fun of New York, and we're not.
I'm just reading the news is all I'm
Yeah,
doing.
and there's a lot of people down here because, used to, that's the only place they advertised was on the East Coast there. So there's a lot of New Yorkers down here.
Lots.
Plus, a lot of them want to get out of the bad weather. I don't blame them for that.
I tell you what I think, and I know I probably shouldn't say this. I think a lot of people from New York are moving out of New York, coming here because of politics. They're tired of it. I watch the news too. I wouldn't want to live around that stuff, and that's why they're coming here. I've had some even tell me that. California, I don't know what's going on out there. I don't live there, but there's an awful lot of them moving out of there, coming to Florida and Texas.
Yeah.
There's reasons for it.
Tom R says, will the new Florida golf cart laws change very much other than reduce some young drivers?
Well, that's the main thing because during snowbird season, if you don't live here, you don't see it. It's a problem. Grandma and Grandpa tells the kids, go get in the golf cart and go ride around the neighborhood, but don't leave the neighborhood. That's against the law. These are public roads. This is not a private street here. And when you got a 12-year-old and driving around, the law says they got to be 14 right now with proper ID. And people seem to overlook that, with proper ID. They don't have proper ID. So if something happens, Grandma and Grandpa is going to be responsible for it. Not that anything ever happened. I don't know if anything really ever has happened. But it's just the way it should be. And we knew, if you keep an eye on this stuff, we knew that this, as we get so big, that this golf cart stuff down here is going to change. They're going to pass laws.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another law is going to happen because of golf cart thefts. They're going to require you to register them in some way, and they're going to require some kind of a license plate on it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. As of now, they don't have that. And I said, so that hadn't changed any. But the laws for the age of the golf cart driver is going to change.
And they have to have a driver's license.
Yeah.
Or a learner's permit. If they have a learner's permit, keep this in mind, then you're going to fall back into Florida statute. Anybody with a learner's permit has to have somebody 21 years of age or older with a driver's license with them. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't change at all. I don't know. They're just things you got to be aware of, and changes are going to come. And
because the villages has rules, yes, but the state laws are prevalent here. You have to watch the state laws. Doesn't matter what the developer tells you.
Yeah.
That's if the state says that's what the law is, that's what the law is. So, Kyle Rizzo says, we are heading to the Keys for the 4th. You guys should load up your RV and come visit. We have hookups in the yard. God, I would love to.
I'd probably get lost. I went down to Key West once, and we stopped at all the islands. We spent a night at what's that first island when you go past Miami? That's the only place that Largo. It's the only place that would take a dog.
Yeah, I think
we stayed there. That was when I first found out that a lot of the hotels down there don't have heaters. See, one of them things you would never think of, right?
Yeah.
And they had a cold snap that night. We're freezing our butts off.
This is January.
Yeah. And I call up front and talk to the lady. I says, how do I turn the heater on? I can't find a heater in here anywhere. And she laughed. In the closet is some extra blankets. They don't have heaters.
Yes, yes. Oh, and like I said, we'd love to, Kyle, but yeah, we got a lot of crap going on. No, don't think we'll make it. Fencing, yes, that's what it was called. I said sword fighting, but fencing. They have a fencing club down here. It's run by a lady, really, really nice lady. And we went, Deb and I went and watched one of their, I forget what they call it, expo or something like that. But it was really cool. I've never seen anything like that. Both of the fighters are tethered. And I said, and so when they're fighting, it's some kind of electronics that tells, who gets a point here and there. And it was very fascinating. I just never seen that before.
See, even Jim says, I'm from New York, can't wait to get out of here.
Well,
And I think a lot of that, I say political because they're the ones that control the laws.
yeah.
And from what I'm seeing up there, I got to tell you, it ain't just there either. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in that world.
Gen Xer Life says the house in Michigan goes on the market in 1 week, counting the days for the big move.
Mimi Meow says, I thought I was
Come
your
on
favorite
down.
New Yorker. See? You're all my favorite New Yorker. You know, don't take it wrong because you watch the news. You know, we've met a lot of people from New York, and every one of them has been nothing but super nice to us.
Yeah, like I said, we've met some wonderful people from New York. We really have. And I said, so I said, but like you said, we don't make the news. We just read the news, or he does. It just so happens that there's a lot of them in there.
Matthew says, I'm from Bronx, and I love it when he rolls his eyes.
Well, I just couldn't believe it. There was one lady. She was so mad. And I said, because he told her it's not that I have anything against people from New York. And she said, well, I can tell it in your facial expression when you roll your eyes and then you're laughing. And so I just know you don't like them.
It's because I'm thinking in the back of my mind as I'm reading this. Remember, I said I don't pre-read anything. I'm reading this in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, please don't be from New York. Please don't be. And then when it is, I find it funny. So, oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Y'all hit that like button. And I said, give us a thumbs up just if you want to listen to us jabber. And we're past our time limit on here.
Oh,
I'm surprised we haven't.
I was waiting for that to freeze up. Usually it freezes up at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Gen X for life. Gen X life. Gen X or life. That's a complicated name to say.
That is.
Says they agree with the new golf cart laws. Well, whether we agree or not agree with them, it's the law.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing we can do about it. And the golf cart law takes effect July 1st. No, October 1st.
October 1st.
The gun law takes effect July 1st. Key Largo, that's where we went. And the only reason why we stayed at Key Largo, we was heading down to Key West, and I thought I was going to spend a weekend down there, but calling ahead for hotel reservations and whatever, at that time, nobody took a dog. You couldn't have a dog in your room or anything.
We had our little dog with us.
And so we were in Miami. We stopped there thinking, well, maybe I'll get a hotel here, and we'll go down for the day and then come back. And we called some place in Key Largo. Don't even remember the name of the place. And come to find out, when I called, this funny story, I'll make it quick. I called this place, and the lady answered the phone. She said, hello, Indiana. What part of Indiana are you from? I was like, how'd you know I was from Indiana? She said, I recognize your area code on your phone. She said, we're from Lafayette, Indiana, which I know Lafayette. So we told her where we was at and what we wanted to do, and we had a little dog with us. And she said, oh, no problem. You can stay here. She said, I think I'm the only hotel between here and Key West that'll accept a dog. And so we stayed there.
Yeah.
And then next day we went down to Key West. And at that time, I can't speak for today. I know things have changed. But at that time, it was so bad about pets down there that we weren't even allowed to walk our dog on the sidewalk. We had to carry her. And you know how the businesses there have like an open front where you can like walk into a place, get a sandwich or whatever. We weren't allowed to take her in there either. So I carried her all day long. And if you see our picture next to the Southern Belle thing, I'm holding her. Wasn't allowed to walk her on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
And so when we left, we stopped at a little restaurant on the way out of town. It was on a boat. And I parked in such a way that I could leave the car run with the air conditioner in it. So I could sit at the table and I could see my car. And that was it. And so I never went back to Key West really because of that.
And there's so many things we wanted to see, and then Kyle says they've got heaters and a pool and a tiki, and you can't get lost as one word in one load, but maybe next time.
Oh, I don't know. We went to a restaurant somewhere in Largo, I think it was, a Marathon or something, that ended up being a house that somebody changed over to a restaurant, and you parked in the backyard. And I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be in there.
Bye, Matthew. You guys have a good day. He has to go. The wife's ready to go out.
Your wife has to go out? Is she potty trained?
Oh my. Butch Fernandez. I think that's new too. Just bought a new home in Lake Denham. We close on next month. Leaving for Kentucky tomorrow to sell our house there. Looking for a place to purchase villages, souvenirs, and T-shirts.
That'd be the store.
The logo store in Brownwood. Yeah, that you can get all that stuff there. And they didn't used to have a online presence for the store. They may now, but I know they didn't used to. So you have to go to the store. I think each square had a logo store. I don't know if they still do or not, but I know the one in Brownwood does, and you can give out anything you want there.
Yeah. T-shirts, coffee cups. I don't even know what they call it.
Because we used to buy a lot of their stuff to, give out on the W&L show.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. I give my own stuff away. Yeah. Well, I'll just make good business sense. Why should I make a developer richer when I can make a couple of bucks selling my own T-shirts?
Right, and the one in Brownwood is right across from the Village Cycles.
That'll be the ugliest building in Brownwood.
Well, the Village Cycles is, but...
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You find the ugliest building in Brownwood, it's straight across the street.
Yeah. Have a safe trip home and hurry back.
Mindy says she wants to know if it's true if Lake Denham Postal Station isn't going to have an adult pool. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, everywhere else I've ever been, wherever the postal station is where the adult pool is. But
well, except for, like I said, wasn't it kind of over here and the postal station?
Yeah, Finney had a weird one too.
Yeah.
That's right. We went down there to check it out because somebody told us that. And that was the very first changes that I saw. The postal station was one place. The adult pool was way somewhere else. And that's just not what we always saw. That was a change, a major change.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim, call us in January when you get down here.
Yeah, it'll be cold up north, so this is where we be.
Yeah, we think of y'all when you're shoveling the snow.
I'll be the guy doing porch sitting in January going, man, it's hot out here today. For all those up north that like to watch, man, what is it today? Like 90? Gee, man, Christmas is hot out here.
Yeah, it is funny because my brother finally told me, he said, quit sending us those pictures of you sitting at the pool in January.
Well, they've got an open invitation. They can come down anytime they want.
They live up by Chicago, so you can imagine what it was like at their house in January.
He's retired. She's retired. They got nothing else to do. They can lock that house up for a month if they want to. They can fly down here on a cheap flight. They can drive down here in their car. It makes no difference. They know we got an extra room here. They're more than welcome to come down. So if they want to whine and cry about how cold it is, it's on them, not me.
Well, they've been doing some traveling though, but yeah, it never even occurred to me that would upset anybody. I just want to tell them, I was having a wonderful day sitting at the pool. But yeah, and they were in 5 foot of snow. Phil says he's ready to go back to Cactus Johnny's.
Me too. I kind of like that place.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Food was pretty good.
Wasn't overcrowded. It was kind of easy in, easy out.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle of freaking nowhere. Or at least I felt like it was. Maybe it wasn't, but I felt like it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the way we came home when we followed Linda, I'm beginning to think the way we went the long way was easier.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a straight shot the way we went, but like if you go down through the Southern Oaks area, it's kind of this way and that way, this way, and yeah.
And on the way back, I could stop at Old Shucks, get me a beer to go.
Yeah. Jerry wants to know if your cousin got settled in his RV park in Texas.
What now?
Want to know if your cousin got settled in his RV park in Texas.
Yeah, he's at the new park. I see pictures once in a while. He's got his place. He wouldn't wait. I knew he wasn't going to wait for him to put down landscaping. He's got it all around his trailer. He's got it already landscaped.
Oh, it's so cute. It's really cute.
I don't even know what all he's done there. He's already been out kayaking in the lake that's there.
Yeah. He's got a little picket fence around his grassy area. And I said, for the doggies. And I said, it's just really, really cute the way they've got it fixed.
Yeah.
And I guess he's kind of got free reign.
I think they, if I remember him posting stuff there. I think he said they were working on putting in the pool now. So it's a brand new place. They haven't got anything open or done, or I'm not
Yeah.
sure how many people they're going to allow stay there till they get it done. They don't want you in the way. So, but they're working on the pool, and I'm not sure what everything else they're going to do. I was at this place. My only complaint about this place, if I had to pick one, was it seems to me when we left, even we was in his pickup, I think, the roads were just rough as a cob.
Yeah.
To get to this RV park. The park itself was fine. It was just a road to get there.
Yeah. And we took a different road coming out as we did coming in. And so it wasn't quite as bad. But yeah, getting there, it was, I kept thinking, oh my God, my liver's going to fall out. Because we were in this big truck anyhow. You guys in your big pickup trucks, they ride like log wagons. They're just not made to ride in
Yeah,
the
he's got a
big.
big truck. It's like a Ford, I want to say 450 with a diesel for pulling the fifth wheel. So it's a bigger truck. And no, they don't ride like a car. And the roads were kind of rough going in. That's the part that I didn't care for.
No.
So would I stay there? I'm not sure yet. I'm not even sure I'm ever going to go back. Oh, we're done.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, like I was saying, I'm not even sure I'm going to go back. But if I do go back, I don't know where I'm going to stay. I might stay there. I might not. I don't know. Margaret might be sick of seeing me. I go down there. I like to see Harry.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time. Our computer's shutting off, so it's time to quit.
All right.
So
Thanks, everybody, for coming. Those of you that came new, come back again every Wednesday at noontime. We do Porch Settin. Until we decide to take a trip somewhere, then we won't.
see you on the other side.
See ya. Thanks, moderators. Appreciate every one of you. Oh, and thanks all you to put in the super chats and super stickers. That means a lot.